life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. Do 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 God only knows what I'd be without you.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the United Gamedom podcast. I am your host, one of your hosts, Darren, aka Darrow, and this is episode 44 of the podcast. Jeez, I'm fucking up already. Hello, with me once again is my Canadian buddy, Denis. Hello, Denis, how you doing this weekend?
I'm doing good. I'm supposed to be the one who's hungover, not you. So I don't know why you're screwing up.
Yeah, you'll probably be more coherent than I am, apparently, and I don't drink whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I did a little podcast, impromptu podcast last night, of my own with Jarrett, who's been on this podcast. So it was kind of impromptu. Got together and did a 2-hour, 45-minute podcast, which you guys will hear soon enough.
Yeah. And probably what Dennis has been telling me, it's not for the faint at heart. It's kind of a lot of explicit topics or whatever come out of that there, which will be very interesting to hear.
Yeah, two drunk guys, so
Yeah,
that's how it went. You know how that
two
how that
drunk
goes.
guys. So all sorts of weird crap comes out of it.
Yeah, exactly. There is some video game talk though, so
Yeah.
there's not only crap. So
If it wasn't just video game, if there was no video game talk, I wouldn't put it into this topic of game whatsoever. Anyway,
just want to say that he went to PAX East, so there's some talk about that and Bioshock Infinite and other stuff. The internet, the early days of the internet, which
the
could be interesting.
90s, which
Yeah.
I never got the internet until 2000.
Yeah, well, we talk about that a little bit.
So that's when I started into the internet age. We have a guest this week, so I mentioned it there at the end of last week's episode now. It's going to be weird now because the fact is we're 3 different people on 3 different time zones. Dennis, what time is it over there now?
Now it's 2:20 p.m.
It is 6:20 p.m. here. And what time is it over there for our guest, who is a YouTuber? So she is, and she's Australian. So what time is it over there, Charly?
It's actually 5:20 a.m.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so she is a bit of a trooper getting up this early, but I believe she was going to get up early anyway. If that's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, fairly early anyway.
Yeah. This is Charly, but people now know her as Charassic. She is on YouTube, on Twitter, and she talks all sorts of games. She tends to favour RPGs, isn't that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And thank you for joining us this week. Now, I want to try to get you on for a while as well, but I know you were on the Rad Rascals first of all, which I'm sure you didn't know what you were getting yourself into sometimes because you don't know what they're going to talk about in a specific episode. It could be completely at random whatsoever. So we're a bit more, laid back compared to those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
think
pretty
I was.
out there.
Sorry, I was going to say. I think I was on the first episode where they started shortening down some of the content as well. So they skipped some of the more sort of notorious things such as the sex acts and everything like that. So it was a pretty gaming focused podcast. But yeah, every week they're a little bit surprising.
Yeah, like I've been listening to them ever since the start though, and it's all a bunch of random episodes. It could be like one week they could be talking about bronies, and the next week they could talk about cloppers and just weird stuff like that. They've introduced me to whole new worlds out there, and I hate them for it.
Yeah. There you go.
But welcome along, Charly. I'd like to get to know a bit about yourself for the audience out there. I don't know you now, but let's just tell us a little about yourself before we move things along.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. There's not really much to say. I'm just a full-time student, and I study way too much. And when I'm not studying, I'm pretty much just playing video games. Yeah, I am, as you said, on YouTube. My channel is Charassic, and I also have a Facebook page, and I'm on Twitter under the same name. I do contribute a little bit to Retro Gaming Australia as well, but probably not as often as I should. But that's pretty much, that's me.
Now, what is it you study now? It's like accounting or something, is it?
Yeah, I have a undergrad bachelor degree in education for primary age students, but finding jobs in teaching is a little bit difficult, so I decided to do a master's in professional accounting, so I'm doing that at the moment.
Brains as well as beauty, then. Yeah, I've got a undergraduate. I've got a bachelor of science degree in software technology, but unfortunately that didn't get me anywhere because I couldn't find a job where I'm at, and I'm stuck in a retail job at the moment.
Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
Basically, it was a bit of about 5 years. I went 4 years in college and then a year to top it up in university, and it was kind of a complete waste, unfortunately. But like, I enjoyed my experience nonetheless.
Yeah, like I have a programmer, a computer programming computer programming degree.
Jeez.
And I'm an IT support. So yeah, yes, it's linked. It's both, computers, but programming is very different from IT support. So I'm still in the same field, like not like you, Darren, that you're completely outside of your field, but it's still I spent a whole lot of money to become a programmer, and I'm not doing that. So
yeah, and also the fact that it's a student loan I have, I'll probably be dead and I'll still wouldn't be paid off.
Oh boy,
at this rate.
Wow.
I think I owe about $8,000 or something.
Okay.
Oh.
A little chunk of it comes off each month though on my my wage packet though, but the fact is interest comes at the end of like the period, and it just increases it a little bit each time. Like I could spend I pay like maybe £100 or like £100 a year, and then it's like interest is like 120 or 130. It's like, okay, what's the point of paying it then? It's just getting increasing little by little each year.
That's good. Yeah.
Was loans over there now? Do you pay for your student loans or out of your own pocket?
Who are you asking?
Oh,
okay.
Me? Yeah, you can pay up front. You get a discount. I can't remember if it's like 50% or you get 25% off if you pay for your course up front. But our education, I think, costs a little bit more than most places around the world. It's usually between 2,000 and 4,000 per subject. So a standard degree might be anywhere between, say, 10 and 16 subjects. So it certainly adds up. I know my teaching degree was subsidised by the government because at the time when they first took us all in, they were like, we need teachers. So it was a lot cheaper. So I think my total cost of that degree came out around 25,000. But yeah, by the time I finished the degree, they're like, oh no, we don't need teachers, we've got too many now. So this master's is costing a lot more as well. So by the time I'm done, I think I'm going to have it's called a HEX loan, but it's going to probably be up around the $50,000 mark.
Jeez, I don't feel so bad now with mine.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
Yeah.
Jeez. But most things over there are kind of pricey anyway, especially with games.
Yeah, games.
Because
I was looking at housing as well. I'm looking to, because we're in a share house situation at the moment, and I don't like that very much at all. So I'm looking to sort of move out on our own, and just rental prices, cost to buy a house are insane. it's hard to explain, but sort of in the outer suburbs of Melbourne here. It's a long trip into the city. It's about an hour. And we're, looking for a 2-bedroom unit or 3-bedroom house, you need at least $500,000, and that's a pretty horrible place. It's not a nice place. It's not really close to the city. Not very good public transport. Everything like that. It's pretty much I don't want to say slummy area, but it's not the nicest of areas, and it's still super expensive to buy a house at the moment.
Yeah, middle of nowhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully you will, get your house that you're looking for, and hopefully you do well in your, master's degree as well. When are you finished that?
It should be in June, as long as I pass everything, which I always convince myself I'm going to fail, and then I end up getting really good marks. So.
I know, because I'm sorry to disrupt you though, but because especially with your Twitter, you do tweets and you do like a lot of studying.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not surprised. I'd be surprised if you actually fail.
Well, I've never failed anything, but I still managed to convince myself I'm going to. The last exams I had a few months ago, I was going into the exam, I was shaking because I was so certain I was going to fail my advanced accounting one, and I ended up coming out of it with like 98% for the exam. So I was like, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I do.
Yeah. You just always have that fear anyway, and even though you say, could have done this better.
Yeah.
And then you get it, it's like, oh, that's surprising. I did very, very well.
Yep.
Well, just good luck with that anyway. I'll be looking forward to seeing what your results will be.
Thank you.
Come in due time, and hopefully you get your house that you're looking for as well.
Yep. Thanks.
So anyway, we'll go on to our first topic now, is the games we've been playing, and of course she's a guest as well, and is also a lady. So ladies, go first. Go ahead, Charly. What have you been playing this week?
I've been playing quite a few things actually. The main game that I've been playing is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS. That's been my most anticipated game, along with Ni no Kuni, for a long time. I really liked the first game on the GameCube, so when they announced it, I sort of had a very geeky happy happen. But yeah, it's really good. It's more creative, I think, than the first one. I feel like moving through the mansion isn't just walking from location to location. It's sort of more like a puzzle, finding out how to get to each different place. And it's still cute and charming. It controls pretty well, even though my hand gets really sore having to keep pressing the shoulder button for the vacuum. But yeah, has anyone else played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon?
No.
I've played the first one now, so I did, and I don't have it anymore though, but I do remember enjoying it though. It's a bit on the short side, so it was, and I will be getting this game though, because I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'll probably get it for my birthday at the end of next month, because luckily there's nothing really else out now in the next month that I want besides like one game. So I'll just be getting it and a few other things I've missed out this year thus far.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be getting it anyway though. It's done by the same ones who did the Punch-Out game for the Wii. I think they're called Next Level Games.
Oh, okay.
I believe they're called. So if you ever played the Punch-Out, if you also seen Punch-Out here, so they're done by the same developers.
Yeah. Well, it's really good. Have you played it, Dennis?
No, I haven't played. I played the first one when the very first Luigi's Mansion, but haven't played this one. It looks good though. It does look fun.
Yeah, it's
like
really
a ton of
nice
fun.
looking game. My mum was watching me play it the other day actually, and she said it looks really good. It's one of the nice looking games on the 3DS. But yeah, I haven't got very far into it. I think I'm only up to the second mansion. I haven't tried out the multiplayer, but people seem to have positive things to say about that, so that's good.
Yeah, a lot of people on the Twitter, a few people on the Twitter feed are basically going about this game. It's just full of charm.
Yeah.
And they're going on about, basically all they want the Luigi's DS is their ringtone, and
Yep.
they love the fact that his whistle and all that there, and he goes yellow
Yep.
and all this here.
Every time he answers the little DS phone, he's like yellow. It's cute.
Yeah, I really did like the first game for that there. It's just full of charm.
Yeah.
So it was, and I'm sure this won't be any less charming.
Well,
I think there's a hello button.
Sorry.
There's a hello button in the game. I think you press a button and he says hello. hello
Yeah,
or something like that.
you press the D-pad, I think the different directions, and he'll have something different to say, sort of different levels
Okay.
of scared as he sort of wanders through.
Okay. That's cool.
But yeah, it hasn't been disappointing. When I get all hyped up for a game and then I get it, I expect to be somewhat disappointed because of my own sort of hype train and everything. But it wasn't. It's been really good. So
Good.
yeah,
I try to keep my hype level a bit lower now after certain games disappointed
Restrained.
me.
Yeah.
GTA 4 is one of them. Bioshock's unfortunately another. Not the new one now, which I'll talk about. Me and Dennis will talk a lot about later on, but the first one.
Yeah.
So continue, Charlie.
the second game I've been playing is Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. It's been nothing but a hassle, in all honesty. I'm playing it on the Wii U. Because me and my boyfriend have like a challenge where we sort of challenge each other to play different games every now and then, just to try and force us to get through some of our backlog of games. And we're both actually playing Skyward Sword at the moment on two different systems. He's playing it on the Wii, on our North American Wii, and I'm playing on the PAL Wii U. And I've had no problems playing other Wii U games in the Wii U, but for some reason Skyward Sword, once I load it up into the Wii mode, it just black screens, all the controllers lose their sync. The actual system stays on, but it just sits there with black screen. I have to actually unplug it to get it to turn off. That's been really annoying. It doesn't happen every single time, but I would say like 80% of the times I try and boot the game up, that's happening. Yeah, it's really annoying.
I haven't heard anything about that though. Like, you're the first person that I've heard about that's had the problem playing like any Wii games whatsoever.
Yeah.
On the Wii U.
Well, I hadn't heard about it, but obviously once it happened a few times, I looked it up, and there are people who are describing the exact same fault, and they said something about it having like a firmware corruption. But the people who've actually had the issue just ended up sending their system into Nintendo, and it was replaced. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I might wait to the new patch for the Wii U in April and see if that fixes it in any way. But yeah, and then obviously playing Skyward Sword, I've had nothing but issues with the control scheme, which is a shame because I went in there really positive about it because I'm not usually phased by motion controls at all. But I'm just constantly having to resync, like not resync it, but recalibrate the motion plus. A lot of the enemies you have to hit in a certain direction or do a specific type of attack, and I just don't have the finesse in the controllers. It's just not as refined as I would like. So a lot of the time I'm just waggling around like an idiot, flailing, trying to kill things. So yeah, that's disappointing. I do understand why they wanted to do a motion plus or a motion controlled Zelda, but I feel like it should be optional. Forcing people to do it that way is annoying.
I agree though. Like, I've had a bit of issue with the control as well though, but that's not the only thing I have trouble with this game. Like, if you already know about me, then you know I'm not really a big fan of this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't feel it's a proper Zelda game in a way, because I feel the world is very, very bland. Like, I just feel like I know a lot of people count this as their favorite Zelda. Like, I just don't know. Like, I feel Skylove's alright, the actual town, no, but everything around it's like just lifeless.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I
don't know if whether you agree with me or not, but that's just the way I feel, and that's the reason why one of the big reasons why I just stopped playing it after the third dungeon, which I know you're at the moment.
Yeah.
Or near at.
Yep, I'm just about to go into well, I say the third dungeon, but you know, I don't know if people know, but before each temple there's a really long part to get into the temple. It's not just walk up to the temple and in you go. You've got to get through what feels like a dungeon in itself to get to the dungeon. So I haven't started that for the third temple yet. But I'm a little apprehensive because it's the desert, and I just hate desert levels in general.
The actual dungeon, I did the one in the desert's actually quite cool. I actually liked it.
Okay, well that's good because
I don't know why. Like, I stopped playing it after that dungeon. I think I was probably one of the actually highlighted the game for me thus far was that dungeon.
Well, I really liked the fire temple. Getting into the fire temple wasn't the best, but the actual fire temple and the boss was good. So the first temple I didn't much like, and it had me feeling a little bit negative towards the game. But yeah, I like it so far. The characters, I think, just the relationship from the beginning between Zelda and Link is a little bit more, I suppose, developed than they usually do with other Zelda titles. I haven't actually played Twilight Princess though, so I can't say if it's the first Zelda that's really sort of established.
No, this is like the sort of this is what sort of is like the actual first Zelda game that actually the relationship actually has some sort of meaning.
Yeah, I really like that.
Than, I just encountered the princess, now I have to go rescue her. It's nothing like that now.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you have a reason to rescue her other than the fact that she's just a princess. She's sort of they established Zelda as a bit more of a character from the beginning, and she's charming and sweet, and I don't know, I just find that I want to rescue her, not because it's the goal of the game, but because I actually really liked her character, so that was nice. And I don't mind the design of the world at the moment. Like I said, I'm only up to the third temple, but yeah, I'm hoping that I can sort of overcome the technical issues and the control issues and begin to enjoy it a little bit more.
I think the thing is, though, I believe, I could be wrong here, I believe you actually visit some of those areas again, though, and go through like, these different ways, and that's probably the reason why I stopped playing it. Like, oh, great, you're going to have to go through a few of these areas again.
So
I was like, okay.
Don't like that, yeah. That's
boring.
Same with Phantom Hourglass on the DS. I hated having to keep going back to the same place again.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah,
that
temple
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you did a dungeon, go back to the Temple of the Ocean King and go down the same 5-6 levels and get the next map chart or whatever.
It's the same with Spirit Tracks as well. There's like a little mini dungeon that you have to keep going back to. At least it's a different level each time.
But at least it's not so...
Yeah, you get to skip.
I haven't finished Spirit Tracks, so... Like, I actually got near the end of Phantom Hourglass. Like, I had like just one dungeon or two dungeons to go, and unfortunately, I lost my bloody cartridge and therefore had to buy a new one and start over again.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be playing that one again. Like, I think it got better towards the end, but yeah, I don't think I'll play Phantom Hourglass again. And once I finish Spirit Tracks, I don't see me sort of picking that one back up to replay either.
There are no Oracle of Seasons or Ages, that's for sure.
I haven't actually played those two. I'll have to do that. I've got the cartridges, but I might wait for the 3DS eShop.
Yeah, I think they're coming out there, which I might get. I've got Ages, so I haven't got Seasons, but Ages is very good. It's definitely a great game.
I'll have to play those after I'm done with Skyward Sword.
Anyway, continue.
Yep, I've also been playing Skylanders Giants. I got a few new Skylanders for my birthday, so I've just been playing through that a little bit more. Not much really to say. It's pretty much just like the same old Skylanders, really, except that you've got giants in it. They sort of just play just like a new sort of element, really. Having access to certain areas that normal Skylanders can't. But yeah, it's just the same. I got the new giant. I think it's Thumpback. He's like a really big gill grunt, and I've been liking that. I'm not too sure if I'm going to get the next Skylanders game or not. Especially with is it Pokemon Rumble U coming out as well, where they're going to have little figurines of Pokemon. I don't think I can collect too many more figurines because I'm just going to run out of space and money.
So are you interested in Disney Infinity whatsoever, or what?
I was, until I saw that most of the characters sort of seem to be, I think it's like Pixar movies and things like that, instead of... I was expecting, Robin Hood and Aladdin. I wanted the sort of cartoon Disney characters, but yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean and Incredibles and things just don't appeal to me as much, so I don't think that will part me with my money quite so easily as the other two.
They'll probably get to them eventually, though, but that does seem to be the case at the moment that the majority of the sort of first, batch of figurines are, like, Pixar films. And like I do like Pixar films though, but I do like to see, like you said, I like to see Aladdin. I like to see The Lion King.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, and
Yeah.
old classic Disney films,
If they
rather than just like the modern ones.
if they bring those out, then I'll definitely get it. But yeah, just at the moment, it's just not appealing to me.
I think it's because the kids today know more about Pixar than they know about the original Disney characters. I think that's why they're focusing
Yeah.
on that right now. So,
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
That makes sense. I keep forgetting that
Yeah.
I'm not the target audience. I'm reminded quite often in Skylanders Giant, so when it's like, oh, you're doing well, young Skylander, I'm like, oh gosh, it makes me feel bad about playing the game at 30 every single time. It's like, young Skylander, it talks down to me like I'm a kid. So,
Yeah, I'm like 27 years. I'm 28 years old next month, and I play games with probably more cater to 8-year-olds.
yeah.
yeah, it happens. All those Lego games and all that. It happens.
Yeah, those Lego games are not really for like. Yeah, but the thing is, I think those games are kind of fun for like all ages. So like we grew up playing with playing Lego stuff, building like various things from Lego.
Yeah.
And therefore, we have a certain affinity towards them games because of that.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, they're very easy. Like they're,
Yeah.
you
The thing
don't
is,
really
if
die.
you die, like you just die, but just lose a bunch of studs. You don't like die and go back to like a checkpoint or whatnot. Now.
Yeah. So.
So you will be getting the next Skylanders game then, and you're not interested in Disney Infinity. Yeah, I heard about that Pokemon Rumble U now. I think someone mentioned it though, but does that actually have a release date yet
No.
outside of Japan?
Just Japan. But I mean, it's just like the normal Rumble games as well. It's sort of like a little battle royale. And they've only sort of announced, I think, like 8 of the figurines. But yeah, I'll definitely get that. I like Pokemon Rumble Blast for the 3DS. I haven't actually played the Rumble game for the Wii, but I really like it. So I'm hoping that it's just more of the same with some figurines, because that'll make me happy.
I could see that doing pretty damn well though if it does come out
Yeah.
Western Hemisphere.
Mhm.
I'm sure it would probably do. Like most Pokemon games tend to come out here anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pokemon,
Yeah, that's a nice segue there. I've also been playing Pokemon White version 2. I've been playing that for months. Absolutely months. But yeah, I've just got the 5th gym badge and continuing on. It's just more of the same Pokemon, so not much to say really there. Have you guys played Pokemon White? Black
No,
version
never
2?
touched.
you're talking to the wrong people here, Charlie.
Okay.
No.
I'm the only ones I ever played in terms of like the actual like length is Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Platinum.
Oh, I didn't like
The only
Platinum.
ones that
Didn't like Platinum very much. I love Pokemon Yellow though.
That's the first one I ever played because I actually got that with my Game Boy Color Christmas in 2000. And the first I got to it was like I think I did the 4th gym, and then I had to get to this area, but I didn't have the cut. Needed the cut move in order to cut to a tree.
Yeah.
I didn't have it, and that's where I stopped playing it.
I hate that HM stuff. I've just that's kind of where I've hit a wall with mine, is because I need to teach cut and surf or something and fly to my Pokemon. I just hate having to force myself to teach the Pokemon those sort of moves. It's like I have a bird Pokemon. Why can't it fly just naturally? I don't see why I have to teach it fly. It annoys me, but oh well. Moving on. I've also been playing Code of Princess for 3DS. Yeah, have you guys played that at all? It's sort of like
No.
It only just came out here this week on the 3DS eShop though.
yeah.
So it did, which is like ridiculous. But then again, it's an Atlas game, so they tend to take ages to come out in PAL regions.
Yeah, I've heard it's
Anyway.
only going to be digital as well. They're not going to do a
Yeah.
physical. That's a shame. But I think it's $50. I'm not sure if that might be just the Australian eShop, but
Yeah, I think it's
expensive.
probably £40 here then, which
Yeah.
I don't think is even worth that. I don't think I'll buy. I like that. It looks okay though, but
It's fun.
I don't see that coming. I'd rather wait till it goes down in price, like to £20 or something, which digital things, especially with Nintendo. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Oh, hopefully it will, because I wouldn't want to pay that much. I bought it on release. It was, I think, $40 US. I first started playing it because it's kind of like a 2D side-scrolling brawler beat 'em up with RPG elements kind of thing. And
It's very similar to Guardian Heroes for the Saturn, if you ever played it.
I haven't actually played that one, but I've heard people sort of liken it to that.
Yeah.
It starts off really slow though. Like the character is really weak. When I first started like the first couple of levels, I was like, oh man, this is rubbish. I felt annoyed that I'd paid $40 for it. But it's like the first game where I really feel like the skills that you add to your character, the way you level them up, actually has a massive impact on how they play. Because once I played it and the character was so slow walking across the screen, I put my skill points into speed and attack, and she became pretty tough pretty quickly. Like, you really do notice the change in your abilities when you apply the skills. So that's good. Doesn't take very long to finish it. I think I was maybe 10-15 hours, but there is a lot of extra content after the main story. There's lots of extra levels, and I hear the multiplayer is pretty fun, but I haven't played that either.
Yeah, when did it cut? Do you remember when it came out in the States?
I'm thinking it was October. Might have been October.
Yeah, I think it was around October, so it took about 5 months to get here then.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's Atlas game, so like we getting Persona 4 Arena now next May.
Yeah, what's that been a year?
In September. It came out in September, I think, in the States. So like what, 8 months?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh well, I'll probably end up getting it though, but yeah.
I'll get it when I finish Persona 4 Golden, which I doubt that'll be this year sometime. I don't know if I'll finish it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Still very early in that game.
I haven't actually got it yet. I haven't got a Vita, but I do want to get it.
I already got the Vita for it though.
Ah.
But like I have a few other games, so like I get it for download stuff for PS Plus, which I think is great because you get download a few games. I got a few games for it for free. Like I got Mortal Kombat, I got the Lumines, Electronic Symphony for free, and a few other games as well. That's the main reason why I've subscribed to PS Plus, just to download free games for the Vita and that.
Virtue's Last Reward just came up for free for PS Plus on Vita, didn't it? I think Virtue's Last Reward did.
I think it's next month now.
Okay.
Okami HD in Europe is coming to be on PS Plus for free, which is like great. Too bad I already got the game, but if I didn't, I would have gotten that, no problem.
Yeah, I bought that as a Christmas present from my partner as well. But oh well, it'd be good to see people downloading it because it's free. Because getting Okami a little bit more extra attention is always a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah, like that's the thing that's making me swerve towards that there more than the Xbox Live at the moment. Like I'm giving up my Xbox Live subscription in May. Like it's just gonna expire because there's no reason for me to stay on that service because I barely play it multiplayer anymore, and there's usually the same deals come up, and I don't like the fact that you have to pay a subscription to watch free services like Netflix and the like services you can watch for like, you know, free. You don't have to you have to pay a subscription though, of course, but you don't have to pay another subscription on top of that in order to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just rush through the last couple of games. I've been playing Punch-Out, the Nintendo re-release for the Wii U, the 30-cent download. It's just old Punch-Out, plays the same. I'm absolutely rubbish at it, like I was when I played it as a child. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'd forgotten how to do an uppercut as well, and I was like pressing all the face buttons trying to work it out, but I'm guessing I was supposed to press start or something, start or select or something to do an uppercut, but I'll try that again later. But just these 30-cent games, I just buy them because they're so cheap. I don't know, like when they put...
I haven't touched any of them at all.
Have you? Ah, I saw it.
No.
Punch-Out.
I wanted to get I should have got the F-Zero one. It was like, I should have gotten it now.
Yeah, see, I've never played F-Zero. It's just a good way to get me to play some of the old Nintendo games that I hadn't played or hadn't played for a long time. It's just, I mean, it's good that we got Punch-Out, but when Japan got Earthbound or Mother 2 or whatever, it was like, it feels so inferior. Even though Punch-Out's a good game, it's like, I would have much preferred Mother 2, obviously.
Yeah, I like to see Earthbound come on the 3DS shop elsewhere, and therefore people can buy that game without having to spend £100 or £200 for the actual cartridge. Like, I actually have the Japanese. Actually got a Mother 2 cartridge, so I do. Because I'm not going to spend £200 on Earthbound now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it never came out here.
If they put that on the eShop, I still think that I would easily part with $50 just for a digital. Like, I hate buying digital only, but I would for that, because just once I get a North American cart and then I get it working on a system and everything, and you've got issues possibly with save batteries and everything, I just think, no, I would pay $50 for just a digital only. Surely they'd make money. All the translations are already done, really. So, oh well. Fingers crossed, I will remain optimistic, but not get my hopes up.
No, I doubt it though.
Yeah.
Japan has a lot of stuff that's never came out on this eShop and PSN store. It's never gone out of the thing, so we'll never see them.
I can hope.
Yeah.
And the last game I've been playing is Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, which I think is called Rhythm Heaven Fever in North America.
Correct.
Yeah. I was doing really well on that until I got to one of the mini games, and then I haven't been able to get past it. You have to high-five monkeys whilst on a clock, and I just cannot get past it.
That one is damn tricky.
Yeah. I spent like 3 hours trying to get past it. By the end, like, I was so angry. I had this massive headache. I just, like, was so tense. I finally got past it, and I was super happy. And then it was straight into the the mix ones where they have like a bit of
the remix.
Yeah, and they had heaps of the monkey again, and I just could not get past it, so I pushed that down for a little while, or else I think I'll end up throwing my Wii remote through the window. I was getting really angry, and I don't usually get angry, but I was getting angry for that one. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I finished Beat the Beat there last year. It was one of my favorite games of last year. I love that game. Like, it's let's just say if you do actually make it through, the last remix, the 10th remix, is effing hard.
Oh gosh, I can't get past it.
It's a marathon. Kinda, it's quite long.
Oh no.
So it is. So just best of luck to you. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Anyway, I'll just be going through a few games that I've been playing because Dennis has already been playing the one game, and we want to talk about it together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Share our thoughts. The first game that I've been playing is a game that's pretty much getting quote-unquote great reviews.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the loosest sense terms, because it's not. That is The Walking Dead Survival Instinct for the PS3. I know for people out there, I did not buy the game. I'm not that sad. I actually rented it from Love Film, like I did with Aliens Colonial Marines. I sent that game back and got this game, so sent back one, not so great game and got an even worse game. And I played about 40 minutes of it though, and let's just say, do not bother playing this game. Aliens Colonial Marines was tolerable. This is not.
Even if you're a fan of the series and all that, of the Dixon brothers and.
Yeah, even if you're a fan of the series, it's just not a very. It is a really, really boring game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty much. I did like the first 2 levels or so, and you just go around and basically the way it works is you go around and scavenge for stuff to bring back to the car. Like, you try to find fuel so you can travel onwards and, find food. And you find these other, survivors. And sometimes they ask you for something like this guy, I think it was cop, was stuck in he was holding himself in this, jail cell with all these supplies. And basically, I think he had to get, he'd give me something if he got food. which I already had, so I just basically traded him food, and he gave me a few items or whatnot now.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can assign, if you have like other survivors, you assign them to search out for stuff. Like you could search them, get them to search for food or like fuel or whatnot, or
Okay.
ammo for like guns or whatever now. And that side of things is pretty interesting. And I like that spec there. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. You sign these guys and see if they actually survive. Like they have a certain percentage risk where, like if you, sign them out to fire, there's a 50% risk of him eating it pretty much.
Okay, so there is a chance that he can get killed.
Yeah,
he or
perhaps.
She.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he or she. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I already got two. I've got like a cop guy, and I got this guy who was with me from the start.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like your uncle or something. I think.
Yeah, your uncle. Yeah.
But yeah, that sort of thing seems cool and all, though it's just actually playing the game is just not very enjoyable whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just very boring. Just like going a knife, just walking up to zombies, like stabbing them with a knife, or doing an execute move, just going around that there and scanning for stuff. It's just very, very boring.
Yeah, the execution, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just that there side of things. It's just not fun, and you easily see yourself bored playing this within minutes. And I don't have the desire to actually go back and finish that game like I did with Aliens Colonial Marines, because it's just that bland and that mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not recommend playing this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Unless you're just the kind of guy who likes to torture yourself playing bad games. And I know there's a few people out there who tend to play bad games. Why, I do not know. But then again, I played Aliens Colonial Marines, so...
It's for the achievements.
I don't know what the achievements are like for this game, though, so there might be hard achievements, I don't know. But that's sometimes people play bad games for achievements, though.
Yeah, happens. Sadly, it does happen.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. But yeah. It's just basically, there's two games out there with The Walking Dead, I thoroughly recommend play the other one, because it's much, much better.
Yeah.
Broken Sword Shadows of the Templars Director's Cut now. This is my game that I've been chosen to play as part of the Rad Rascals Gentleman's Challenge, which I know Charly has taken part in. What are the games that you were chosen to play again, Charly?
I have to play Atelier Totori, I think that's how it's pronounced, and Tales of the Abyss for 3DS.
Yeah, so 2 long RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my requisite this time, though. Like, I basically said, here's my backlog, no RPGs, thanks. Because the last 3 Gentleman's Challenges I was took part in, I was given an RPG. And I just said, no, I'm not doing it this time now.
No RPGs anymore.
No. I just like to actually finish a game. Like, I've already finished I already finished an RPG this year thus far. Ni no Kuni, which I love. I know Charly loved that game as well.
Yeah. Great game.
But Broken Sword though, I got it, and also Another World for the Mega Drive, or known as Out of This World, in North America. So it's a very old Mega Drive game with unique graphics. It's like similar. Did you ever hear of the game Flashback? Any of you?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
I think it's done by the same team who did that now, or it's like done in the same graphical style though. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But in Broken Sword, I played about an hour or so of it thus far, and I'm enjoying it though. It's a very old school, point and click adventure though. It's like the director's cut. It's like an updated version of it that was released there a few years ago, and therefore it has, literally it's like the graphics are a bit, updated, and has an extra thing at the start, or also you have a hint system, which is nice because sometimes I feel like an absolute dumbass, and therefore I need some help. And that was the case in some of the opening puzzles where I didn't realize I had to do this. I was like, oh, I feel like a stupid idiot then. But it's a very good game. Any of you ever played Broken Sword?
No.
I
don't even know what that is.
Is it the same one that came out on the DS? It might be.
Yes. it came out in a few systems now. Like it originally came out in the PC and PlayStation back in '96, I believe.
Yeah.
And then there was like a sequel. There's been a bunch of sequels, and there was a Kickstarter there for it recently, which I think was successful for a new game of it. But yeah, it came out. I think it came out in the DS. It came out in the Wii as well, I believe. And I'm playing on the PC on Steam
Yeah, I finished the DS
because
one, so if it's the actual same game, then I have finished it. Um, I think there's a couple of puzzles where I was sort of a bit stuck, but I think once you get into the mindset of the type of puzzles that you're doing, I think it gets pretty breezy from then on. It's not very long either from memory. But then again, I always think games are really short if they're under 30 hours because I'm always playing RPGs, which they feel like they're 60 to 120 hours. So when something's 20 to 30, I'm like, oh, that was short. So in my mind, I'm thinking it was only like 10 hours, but I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah. I heard like I pretty much heard from the guy who gave me that like Carnivore. He's a Scottish guy. Basically said, yeah, it's not that long though, but it's enjoyable nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I'll probably actually play it once I'm done with Bioshock Infinite though anyway. And the last game before we get into the main game is 24 the game because I'm basically on a 24 binge at the moment because I've been watching it pretty much week in and week out for the last week or two, and I've finished season 2 there recently, and I'm started playing the game because it takes place between seasons 2 and 3. Therefore, I just want to kind of experience the whole series in chronological order, and that's why I'm playing this. So I know it's not supposed to be a very good game though, but since the thing is, I think my father got me this like a few years ago for dead cheap. Never touched it because I never actually watched the series until recently, and therefore I just decided to get it and played about 30 minutes to an hour of it though, and it's decent enough. It's not great, but it's decent enough. Just has like shooting aspect, you like driving, chasing, and like this bomb defusal one, and that's pretty much all the different types of gameplay I've played in the game thus far. But it's a pretty decent game. And if you've ever, I know you watched the first 3 series of it now, Dan, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I never played the game though.
Have you ever watched 24, Charlie?
No, I haven't seen a single episode. My dad loves it, but yeah, I've never bothered.
Yeah, like I just never got around to it until there, like, a few weeks ago though, and I'm really liking it though. Really enjoyed the first 2 seasons, and I'm currently watching the third one. So yeah, which seems interesting thus far. So anyway, that's pretty much all I've been playing, and pretty much short apart from Bioshock Infinite. So anyway, Dennis, let's take it away. What you've been playing with Bioshock Infinite.
Well, how about you give your opinions of it to start off with?
Okay, because there's noise over there.
There is noise over here. Yes, sorry about that.
No problem. Luckily I won't get disturbed at the moment though. I've been playing a lot of Bioshock Infinite. So I got it on Tuesday, which pretty much everyone else did. And I've probably put about, I'll say maybe about 7-8 hours into it thus far. And I'll say I'm probably roughly about halfway through the game, judging from I'm not using a walkthrough now, I just seen like the wiki guide there's on IGN, and from the locations I've seen of it there, I've seen where I'm at, and I'm pretty much about halfway through the game. This game's been pretty much getting critical acclaim throughout though. There's a lot of 9s and 10s, and pretty much saying it's the game of the year thus far, and just loving it, absolutely love it. It's just like the best game they've played in ages. Danny O'Dwyer, I know, pretty much loved the game. I know a few other ones on my Twitter pretty much loved it though, and thus far, what I've been playing of it thus far, I'm quite digging it though. I feel it is similar to Bioshock though. If you played Bioshock 1 or 2, it is pretty similar because of the name. The gameplay is very similar. You explore this beautiful world, Columbia, scrounging for different things like health, ammo, salts, which are the kind of your magic power in this, your magic power, your MP for this game rather than what it was before. I forget what it was called before. Because you use these powers called vigors, which are basically this versions of the plasmids from the first game, and you go around and use those vigors like one murder of crows. You just unleash your murder of crows on soldiers. There's one called Raging Bronco, which you use this little thing that lifts the enemies up so you can shoot them in the air. And there's a bunch of other ones as well. And I'm very much digging it though. I really love the world. That's the one thing I really love about Irrational Games. They just create these beautiful worlds that you can easily, explore and just like find out all these sorts of different, things like these propaganda posters and different foxophones to get the audio logs from, these different characters that lived in this world, and, just pretty cool things like that there. So, yeah, I'd like to talk more of it though, but what are your impressions, Dennis?
Okay, the noise has died down just a little bit, so I'll try to. I don't control, I do not control when people come over here I've talked about this before. I have somebody who comes over here and cleans the place, and I don't control that, so let's say that she's here right now, and she's vacuuming, so that's the noise that you hear in the background.
So that actually is a vacuum this time rather than what I heard before.
Yeah, it is a vacuum this time. It does sound weird coming through a headset, of course, but it pretty much sounds the same way, but it's a different thing. Nonetheless, Bioshock Infinite, as you said, the world is incredibly impressive. Just when you get off that rocket ship in Colombia, and you're in this cathedral place. That is just. I think I spent maybe 5 to 10 minutes just walking around and looking around.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did though as well. Like I just looked around, just like the candles, though, it just looks very beautiful to look through. And then once you get up to this, you're basically in a water path with these candles on your side, and you're like walking through the water, and then you basically you have to enter. The only way you can enter Colombia is basically get baptized.
Yeah, quote unquote baptized. Well, he's pretty much drowning you, but
yeah,
So you get off there, you run you walk around, you look at stuff, and then you get into Colombia proper, and just when you step outside and you see this world in front of you, I don't know if you got that feeling, but I was like, oh my God, this is a gorgeous place. Like, this is fantastic. This looks absolutely amazing.
I got that feeling when I first saw Rapture as well.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Rapture, when it goes Andrew Ryan goes Rapture, and then when you see Rapture and it's all its glory, it's like, whoa, that looks cool.
Yeah, and it's like not a whole lot of video games do that. Like they just throw you into, especially shooters, like they just throw you into this place and say, hey, okay, here you are, abandoned warehouse. Kill those fuckers. It's pretty much, that's the only thing they do.
It's like generic brown, city environment, or sort of stuff you've already seen before. Like, this is the thing I like about Irrational Games. These create these game worlds so you can get yourself immersed into and explore. It's not like an open world game now, but
no,
you just want to explore and just find all the different trinkets. Like I said,
walking around town. And you have people, saluting you. Hi, how you doing? And good morning, top of the morning to you, and stuff like that, So you talk to people. You get to know the city before you start shooting it up, I mean, it's like you get to see a little bit what the city's like, what the people are like, until you get to the raffle. And then once you get to the raffle,
all hell
breaks loose. So
yeah,
that's when you see the other side of Rapture.
I probably spent a good hour going around that opening area before I got to the raffle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just walking around and just looking at, everything, going into the stores, looking at the people, just walking around and picking up stuff, But like I have to pick up everything. Even if my health is maxed out, I have to pick up the...
I'm the same way.
Like you find hot dogs and trash cans and... stuff like that. hot dogs and desks and all that. I find that a little bit weird, but it's it's really a little bit dumb if you think about it, like a full-fledged hot dog in a trash bin somewhere and pick it up and you eat it. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
Homer Simpson like, or so still, I mean, just coming into the world and looking at everything, and then when all hell breaks loose, it's a little while until you actually get to Elizabeth and you actually meet your AI counterpart in the game, like the person that you actually rescue, well, quote unquote rescue, I guess, from somewhere. Where I'm trying not to spoil too much while talking, but it's you rescue her. Well, people pretty much know that you have Elizabeth as a companion in this game, so so you rescue her from somewhere, and you have to bring her somewhere. So you have to bring her to some place, and from there all sorts of stuff happens, and it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, like I have to agree though. Like I said, just the world. You just explore this lovely world. It's this world in the sky though. Like the fact is, it's a completely sort of different looking to. Like it shares its similarities to Rapture now from Bioshock now, but it is like kind of different in a way as well. This beautiful, world city in the sky though, and one of the things I do like about it is the the skyline. Where you hook onto the skyline and go like just travel lines, like kind of like a roller coaster ride. So it is. And I just really enjoy one of the things though, as much as I'm enjoying the game, it's not perfect now. There's a few things I don't like about it though. This is one of the things I hate in modern games, and it's when you get punished for dying, kinda.
Okay.
Like, the thing is, it's not, you don't lose a lot of money now in it though. I think you only lose like 50 silver eagles, which is like the currency though, but still sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't like when you lose money when you die, when you get punished for dying in this game. And that was one of the main reasons why I stopped playing the first Saints Row, because you lost too much whenever you got killed.
Yeah. Borderlands is the same way.
I'm playing it on hard, therefore I'm going to be dying my fair share of times, supposed to yourself. Like, I think you only died there for the first time, a couple of days ago, correct?
Yeah, I only died, but that's because that's me being careless. I'm thinking, I have Elizabeth backing me up, and I'm just going to run into these guys and, use my, like the crane thing that you have attached to your hand. Just use that and do melee kills on everybody. And that's just me getting careless. And I did die a little later on when you're at the that theater thing. I don't know if you did that. You surely did that part. Where you're in the theater. I can't remember, House of something. What is it called? House of Laughs or something? I can't remember. When you're looking for the handyman to help you. Not the handyman, but the... what's
the
it?
gunsmith.
The gunsmith, yeah, Mr. Lin.
House of Laughs. I don't think I've gotten to that yet.
I don't know if it's House of Laughs, but it's something similar to that. It's made like a theater, like a like a old school theater thing, where you go watch some theater, and you have to go through like these 3 tasks. They put you through. Okay, here's a boss. There's another boss. There's another boss, and
is it not the Good Luck Club or something?
The Good Luck Club. Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Good House Club, or I think it's a Good House Club or something like that. Yeah. That's the part that's the area I just did.
Okay, and did you find it hard?
I think I died there once or something.
Yeah, I died there once or twice. I died there once, but because at one point there's like turrets, and that George Washington robot that's coming after you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap, and I was running around trying to find some salts. And Elizabeth was pretty good, at throwing you stuff, but then she was, I have nothing. I'm like, God, now you have nothing, and when I don't need it, you don't throw me. You throw me all sorts of stuff, So I'm like, I'm running around trying to get some salts, and then that robot George Washington just freaking came in front of me and started shooting at me, and I died from there. So, it's like, crap. At that point, I didn't, mock up. I didn't go around and died carelessly. I just really died at that point. So, but yeah, it's other than that, it's pretty easy. On medium, it's still pretty easy. So.
Yeah, like I heard pretty much people that's the reason why I played on hard, because Kevin Fadord on Twitter basically said if you want a challenge, play it on hard, which I just decided to do. And there's certain parts of it seems enough though, but there is certain parts, like there is a few parts like thus far that I just sort of got through by the skin of my teeth without down whatsoever. I was like, oh, I'm dead here. Like I like an teensy little bit of health left, and all of a sudden just miraculously got through it, but all right.
Yeah, and then you know everything's fine, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I still have a little bit of health, and you go around and pick up all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, one of the other things I feel it just annoys me sometimes, especially when you're focusing on enemies that are in front of you, like you're in cover, and all of a sudden you just get attacked by behind. It's like, where the hell did these guys come from?
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, I died like 1 or 2 times because of that.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, I didn't know that they were going to come from behind or something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the AI in this is actually pretty smart, because when you're in cover, some of them actually do come up and try to hit you rather than staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like brain dead AI. And Elizabeth, I feel, is probably one of the best AI characters, because the fact is she helps you giving you ammo. Like every time when I'm low on ammo.
Yeah.
For certain weapons, she always gives you ammo or whatever you're low in health. Like she can't do it like every 5 seconds now. There has to be a period where she has to
scavenge or
cool down pretty much.
Yeah, she it's like a cooldown. Yeah, she can't really keep pumping you like with health and your salts and all that. So.
Yeah, but the fact is, usually every time that I do need it, though, she does say, here's the health, here's, ammo, or, here's a coin. Sometimes when you're just exploring, she just gives you coins, you get a bunch of silver eagles that way, and...
Yeah.
It's a whole different world, from playing Aliens Colonial Marines to this, it's just a whole different world in terms of AA.
I'd love having her around in real life when you need money. It's like, hey, here you go. She throws you money, and thanks. So.
Yeah.
I think she has a whole lot of money. I don't know where she gets that money, but God.
She probably finds it around, scrounges around. No, that's kind of the thing I feel. She scrounges around, here's money I found, and sometimes she sort of says, here's something over here.
And
sometimes she does say certain things like, here's a lockpick over here or something. It's like, okay, where is it though?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could give me some sort of little indication.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard. If you're
the thing is, if you're
exploring
every nook and cranny, then you eventually would find them, which I've done. I've found a fair few lockpicks and opened up doors and the safes and that there.
I think I'm at 24 lockpicks. I keep finding lockpicks everywhere. I'm like, okay, well, this is.
Have you been opening stuff?
Oh yeah, I've been opening pretty much everything that I can find. I've decrypted 2 things left on the wall. Those those blood trails on the wall.
I've got the second code book, and I'm going to go back. I have to kill these enemies first, and then go back to that area and decipher that second one.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool. It gives you those vials that you can upgrade your health.
Infusion upgrade.
Yeah, fusion upgrade. Yes.
Yeah, and I was trying to go through this game, getting all the voxophones and the kinectoscopes.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I missed a few of them. There's one I actually did fucking easily miss there in that area, in one of the an area not too long ago, because I forgot to look around and going down that area. I was like, oh crap.
I'm trying to do. I'm going around and everything, but I'm not. How can I say, forcing myself to find the voxophones or whatever? Saying, okay, I have to stay here and find it. If I don't find it, whatever, I'll just I'll just forget about it and continue on and whatever. I know it's background to the story, but I guess still a pretty rich story, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing them anyway. I enjoyed from these characters, what these characters are saying, and love the little wee connectoscopes as well. going into them and just like seeing what they are all about.
Yeah.
Like there's one about the Irish.
Yeah, I saw that
So
one.
there was.
I wanted to
And
take
I
a print
mentioned it
screen.
to Steph about it as well, and she said she found it though about this one basically discriminating the Irish, just basically saying, oh, the drunkards,
Yeah.
because that's one of the. It's kind of heavy though. It has a heavy theme in this here because it does have a certain aspect of discrimination.
Yeah.
Because one of the one of the areas you explore, there's these toilets, and there's white toilets, and the other toilets are Irish and coloured toilets.
Yeah.
And therefore it's basically this kind of discriminating society.
Yeah.
Because you basically see a lot of people you see is all like a lot of white people.
Yeah.
And when you get to these slum, like the Finkton part,
Mhm.
where I'm currently at, you pretty much see all these black coloured workers.
Mhm.
So you do.
I'm actually heading down into the slums right now. Like what do they call it? Like slum town? Is it slum town or something?
Shanty town.
Shanty town, yeah. That's where I'm heading right now. Heading to Shanty
you probably
town.
see a lot of maybe Irish ones and black ones there as well.
Yeah.
So
very.
that's kind of thing as well. It just shows us, you think that people live in this kind of perfect society though, but realize when you really see around, it's no, this is not a perfect society. It's a kind of propaganda. It's kind of a racist society because the fact is they discriminate Irish and coloured people,
Mhm.
and this kind of guy known as Prophet Comstock,
Comstock, yeah.
who people just deem as his prophet, is they kind of like their god or whatever.
Mhm.
And all his little sayings though, and there's the one area in the game as well that kind of spoil as well, where this guy basically says, he didn't do this here, I did this here. He's rewriting history.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
He's
rewriting history to make him the hero.
Yeah.
You know?
Pretty much.
So yeah, it touches about it touches on racism and another religion also.
Yeah.
Religious
exactly.
themes. So yeah, it's a little it's some stuff that you're not used to seeing in regular games. Like you rarely see a game touch upon religion, but this game kind of goes there and touches upon it, and racism especially. It's like, okay, well, these are themes that we're not used to seeing, especially in a shooter. So it's new. It's fun. It's nice that they explored that thing. That side of everyday life, even today.
Yeah, because the fact is, we don't live in a perfect society today.
Mhm.
There's still discrimination out there. There's still racism out there.
Mhm. Yeah, there's still racism, and religion is a big part of everything. Big part of wars. Big part of So
Yeah, exactly as well.
religion is what starts wars. So
Yeah, the discrimination, racism, and all that. Just starts fights and all that. Like you said, wars and all that. They're just people just share different opinions.
yeah,
At the end of the day.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a very it's a very it's a very good story. The subject matter is great. I'm getting to a point, and I have to agree with Ben from the Red Rascals, who actually posted this on Twitter. He says it's getting a little bit too combat heavy compared to previous Bioshocks, like Bioshock 1, I would say. And I tend to agree with him. It's like you walk into a place, there's a ton of guys, shoot your way through those guys, get out of the place, there's a ton of guys again. And, it's like, the shooting is very well made and everything, but this game should not focus too much on that. Like, yes, they're shooting, but, there should be quiet moments where you're going through stuff, when, watching everything and not always shooting up everything, I don't know if you feel that way.
Not at the moment though. I feel there's quite good balance of exploration and combat.
Mhm.
But I do believe, like you said, I do believe near on there's a little more leans towards more of combat though, which I don't think would like though. I just kind of like the way it is at
Yeah.
the moment. If they just stuck with that though, then that'll probably be better.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they should let go a little bit of the shooting. I don't think it's going to happen because Ben said it gets very combat heavy towards the end. So I kind of think it's too bad. I didn't want to see this much combat in the game, but still, it's still a fantastic game. So
Yeah.
still pretty awesome.
I was gonna ask Charlie now. Have you ever played any of the Bioshock games?
I started the first one. I think I felt like 10 seconds in, and I got frightened by one of the enemies and never picked it up again. I think it's when you first
Yeah.
go through, like when you go through the tank, and there's something on the top of the tank or something hitting, and then it runs off, and it's like, oh, you better go out there. I'm like, hell no, I'm not going out there. So I just put it down.
Must have been a splicer, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But I love the atmosphere, and I love the environment and the world in the games, but the enemies were just a little too. They were just scary. They weren't like. I usually get frightened by like ghosts and things like that, but they were just. I think because of the atmosphere in the game, they were just like the battles with them are just too intense, and just panicked me out too much. So definitely not for me. I'm curious about Infinite now because people say there's a lot more combat, but they haven't really said much about what the enemies themselves are like. They don't seem as intimidating as, say, the big daddies and stuff like that. And I'm thinking maybe I will have more of a chance if it's not so intimidating.
No, there's the enemies really are like there's just like these standard soldiers,
Yeah. It's
and there's
policemen.
these
Yeah.
yeah, and there are these ones called known as the firemen, which is basically this guy's like this suit, there's like fire surrounding him, and he like throws these like grenades,
Yeah.
kinda.
Hmm.
Then there's these motorized robots, the like George Washington one, like Dennis mentioned earlier.
There's the
Another
handyman.
one, the handyman, which I just encountered the first one, and it was flipping took forever to kill.
Yeah.
And there's these other ones, this like crow enemies, where they're basically warps from like different areas using like crows.
Yeah, he has a
And that's
tombstone on his back, and
yeah,
he
that's
just.
kind of the enemies thus far. So I don't know if you're intimidated by any of them now, but that's kind of the enemies you encounter in the game.
Yeah, I would say the tombstone guy is pretty much the most quote unquote frightening guy in the game. I would say.
I might give it a
I
go
think.
because I mean it sounds so good. Other than the fact that I'm probably going to be absolutely rubbish at it. But you were just saying about the difficulty before.
Hmm.
I'm assuming because there's a hard mode and a medium mode. I'm assuming there's an easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'll just wuss out and play that.
Yeah, if
Um,
you just want to enjoy the story, just play on easy.
yeah. I mean, at least to get me into it, and if I decide that it's the best game ever, then I can play again through on probably
Hmm.
never hard, but medium anyway, and it might give me the push I need to get out of the tank in Bioshock.
there's another mode you can unlock when you finish the game, although you can actually unlock it when if you just enter the Konami code,
Hmm.
which is known as 1999 mode, which I think is supposed to be kind of like this harder mode. So it is basically kind of playing this game as if it's like from 1999. So I don't know what that's gonna be like now. I might try it out in the future.
1999. Is it the same game, but harder?
No,
Or
it's just 1999 mode. It's basically this mode. I think it's just more of a. I think it means sort of like playing a first like the sort of aspects of a first person shooter back in 1999
oh, okay, okay, I got it.
rather than what they are today.
Okay,
So probably
I got
less
it.
checkpoints.
That's actually not a problem in this game. There's no autosave or whatsoever. There's an autosave, but the fact is you can't save it manually. So basically, you make sure that you get to a point where it autosaves, or else you want to do certain areas again.
Hmm.
Oh, I hate that. But oh well.
That's
Yeah, there's no save in the thing.
that's probably one of the biggest gripes people have with this game.
Hmm.
The fact is you can't save. Oh, I'm done here. I'll just save it now. You can't. You have to get to a point that see in the top right corner it says save in profile, auto saving. Okay, right. I can turn it off now.
Hmm.
And
And it's kind of hard to
pretty.
spot.
They're they're not frequent.
No, and they're hard to spot unless you're looking for them.
Yeah.
Like it's very very small at the top of the screen, and it says saving. Like there's a little icon that goes around saving. So it's kind of hard to miss. So, but when I exit the game, does it tell you this, Darren? The last save was at time and date.
It does.
So
That's some of the things as well. It's like, okay, right, this last thing, right, I just look at my watch. Okay, like say it's like, oh, it's 7:30. Your last checkpoint was 7:28. Okay, I just had a checkpoint, right? I'll just exit then.
yeah, at least it tells you that. So
Yeah, that's a nice thing, no. But the fact is, there's no manual save, which you know, 'cause sometimes you get to you might do a hard battle, but unfortunately, it might be the case where you actually don't get a save after it unless you do another hard battle and then it saves. So
yeah,
but if you're playing on easy though, it probably shouldn't be that difficult
I don't think
Yeah,
it would.
it's,
Normal's pretty.
because like I'm not finding it like there's certain parts it's pretty tricky though, but I'm not finding impossible at the moment and hard.
Yeah.
And I know you're not really having a hard time with medium though, so.
No, not really.
But the thing is though, if I do find it a bit too difficult, I can go down to medium. That's the thing I like. That's the thing I like about these games when they have. Oh, you find it too difficult. Oh, you can put the medium. You can put the difficulty down.
Yeah, there are some
in
games
options.
there are some
Yeah.
games that don't do that. You have to restart the game completely and
Yeah.
choose another difficulty that I hate. That what was Homefront was like that. That really pissed me off. That it was you had to restart the game completely to choose a different difficulty.
Like you could get to the end of that game and just cannot. You just try again to beat the last part of the game or something, and then you can't. You have to restart the game then.
Yeah.
Luckily, Ni no Kuni has that aspect as well, where if the game gets too difficult for you, you can put it down to the easy difficulty. But I didn't. I just put it on the normal difficulty, and I was fine for the most part with that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be playing more Bioshock Infinite though anyway. Like we'll probably talk more about it, next week. I'll probably have it finished then because very curious to see what this ending is because a lot of people are talking about this ending like it's quite a interesting ending. If it's not if it's Dead Rising true ending style, I'll be really pissed off.
I don't think it's that way. No, I don't think
No.
so.
There's a video on GameSpot at the moment that has Kevin Van Orden not talking about the ending.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it as soon as once I finish the game.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, I mean, I don't want to finish the game because it's great, but I can't wait to see what all the fuss. Like Jared, when we did the podcast last night, he had just finished Bioshock Infinite, and he's like, "Oh my god," he says, "Dude, I can't wait for you to get there, and we can talk about it. I can't wait for you to get there. It's really incredible." So I'm like, okay, well, I kind of want to get there, but I kind of don't, at the same time.
Yeah, I think we're roughly about halfway through the game though, because I think you're not. I think you're around where I'm at anyway, so I think we're about halfway through the game.
Wow, halfway! Holy crap!
Yeah.
That's a long game.
Because I looked on like I mentioned here already, is the IGN wiki guide, and I just looked at the site and all the locations, and I just seen it's just looking from this here, it says roughly about halfway through.
Okay, if I look at my time here on Bioshock Infinite, it tells me that I've played 6 hours. So yeah, it's probably 12 hours, I would guess. A 12-hour game.
Yeah, I think the people are saying they're finishing about 12, 13 hours.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yep.
You don't get that from first-person shooters.
No, you don't. Not anymore, anyway.
But this is more of a story kind of focused story first-person shooter around Call of Duty or long military shooter where you can finish it in a number of hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'm just really enjoying it thus far though. I really just loved exploring the world, and the gameplay is fun though. And I did a blackout with this game apart from the first demo or so, and didn't look up the trailers or anything. So just wanted to see what the different things were about. Now I'm not disappointed with this far though. It's not I'm absolutely game of the year thus far though.
Yeah.
For me. But like I really am enjoying it though. I'll sure it'll end up being in my top 10 at the moment. Like
It's not
I
game
really
of the
do
year for
enjoy
you?
gameplay though. Like I knew what to expect from this though from Bioshock because my Bioshock hype level was just sky high.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that's probably one of the reasons why I was disappointed with that game at the end of the day. But I know what to expect this time there, and therefore, yeah, it's pretty much Bioshock in a different world with different, characters, and therefore, yeah, I'm digging it because I know what to expect this time around, rather than what I was expecting, 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's my favorite game of the year so far. I loved Tomb Raider. Like, Tomb Raider was by far my favorite so far, this year. Like, Tomb Raider is a fantastic game. But has a much better story, I guess. And the setting, the environment, everything is better than Tomb Raider was. So, still a very good game, Tomb Raider is. But Bioshock, I think, takes the cake so far.
Ni no Kuni's my game of the year thus far.
Okay.
And this, I don't know, this actually serves, I love explore, I love the world in Ni no Kuni as well, and that's one of the reasons why I love this game as well. It just has a really good world to explore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like Ni no Kuni because you like the world, Charly, then you should like this game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a go. I might try and pick it up today. I'm not sure if the shops are open, being Easter Sunday, but I think I will give it a try, and I'll just play on easy and just try and get the story in the world and hopefully make it through to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's less frightening, that's for sure. It's a less frightening experience than when you got to Rapture in Bioshock 1.
Yeah.
It's much less
you're not,
frightening.
like, going to be, oh my god, like, you just walking around, oh my god, like, there's a splicer just jumped out of nowhere, like a big daddy's coming crashing through the wall and, attacking you now. It's nothing. Doesn't share those, like, scary, like, kind of horror moments now. It's nothing along those lines in this game.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that horror aspect. I was just thinking the feeling I got when I was entering Rapture was the same sort of feeling I got when you come across like a major sort of character in the old survival horror games. So like Pyramid Head or Nemesis or something like that. It was that same sort of panic, but I felt it constantly. It's because I didn't know. I knew something bad was going to happen, but I just didn't know when, and I just felt so tense. I think that's the feeling I felt with Bioshock. So if that's sort of not so much in Colombia, then yeah, I think it's going to be something that I can get through. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Colombia is a lot more brighter though. That's the thing,
Oh, yeah.
because it's in the sky rather than like underwater. Therefore, it shouldn't be that scary in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a less
trapped.
claustrophobic. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like beautiful open world sky and just like sunny, and then go into these like different buildings, these cool buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of the things I have to mention as well, there's a lot of like known songs in this game as well.
Yeah.
Like there's one moment like bits like kind of split. There's one moment like pretty much one of the opening areas you hear this barbershop quartet singing "God Only Knows,"
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Then there's another moment where you hear like someone in the beach area in Battleship Bay. You hear "Girls Just Want to Have Fun,"
Yeah.
and then there's another one where you Elizabeth. When you encounter Elizabeth and she opens like
The first tear. Yeah.
tear, and you hear "Everybody Wants to Rule the World."
Yeah.
For Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
Tears for Fears.
And
There's a lot of
later on also when you go into a certain place, you hear a CCR song. Have you heard that one? You go into a certain place and there's a tear and the tear opens. I'm not sure if Elizabeth is there. I think it's just a tear out of nowhere and no, she's there. Yeah, because when you go into this place where the sewing machines are everywhere.
I don't think I've gotten that far yet.
No.
Is that in the factory? Is it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't entered the factory yet.
Okay,
so
you'll see when you get to the factory. There's a tear there, and there's a CCR song that plays when the tear opens. So I think those little touches are really awesome.
Yeah, despite the fact this is set in 1912.
Well, the terrors are from other times.
Yeah, other times and worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though girls just want to have fun playing in Battleship Bay,
I know.
and that's 1912.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a forward civilization or something. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, it's cool. You know. Also, when she opens the tear to France, you see the. Did you see the cinema marquee was written?
No, I didn't.
No.
I just saw the Eiffel Tower, and I didn't focus on the cinema marquee.
It was Empire Strikes Back, but
So
in French.
1980 then.
Yeah, in French. Was it 1980? La Revanche de. Well, it was written in French, so it was like The Empire Strikes Back. Not be called. I think it was The Empire Strikes Back, or was it Return of the
Empire
Jedi?
Strikes or Return of the Jedi. Well, Empire Strikes Back was 1980 now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Return of the Jedi, because Tears for
So
Fears.
83.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't 1980 now.
Mhm.
Was it Everybody Wants to Rule the World? Was that not later?
I think it was later. I don't know why it's playing. In 1983, I think Everybody Wants to Win the World is like 85, 86, if I'm not mistaken. Because Tears for Fears were popular back in that time. I mean,
Yeah.
that album was phenomenal. The songs from Big Share by Tears for Fears. A little tangent here, but that album was great. That was a phenomenal album. And I really let me just check on Wikipedia, make sure that I'm not talking out of my butt here.
Yeah, but I'd recommend to you, Charlie, anyway, though. Like, if you're a bit scared for Bioshock, though, but if you want to, explore, like, a beautiful world, though, I'd check it. I'd recommend checking it out, though.
Yeah, I think that I will. I've been wooed over now. So I'll have to try Tomb Raider as well, because they're two games that people have really been raving about recently that I haven't played.
Yeah, like, I already played about 2 hours of Tomb Raider, though, but I'm enjoying it of what I played, and I'll get back to it later in April when I'm done with this and Broken Sword.
Let me ask you guys one thing. Is it Lara Croft or Laura Croft? What do you guys say?
I say Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
Okay.
Not
a lot of people say Laura.
Laura, yeah, which is strange because I don't know spelling, yeah. But I know a few people have called her Laura Croft, and I didn't know that was a thing because Laura has a U in it. But there's lots of things like that. I mean, I
think it seems to be North America says Laura.
Yeah. Just
I say
pronunciation
Lara.
of Craig versus Craig and things. Taking me a little while to get used to the American pronunciation of Craig versus Craig. Yeah, so maybe it's another one of those sort of things.
Yeah, there's different pronunciations of stuff.
Yeah.
Like aluminium or aluminum.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
And I think, who was I think it's Chris Dunn. I was tweeting to him about margarine versus margarine or something. Because he's saying it's margarine and we call it margarine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Strange.
Yeah.
I think I call it margarine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call it margarine.
Yeah, it's again a North American thing though. We say margarine and you guys say margarine.
You say potato, I say potato.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah. But for the Tears for Fears song, it's 1985. I checked it out.
Oh, the year I was born then, so I should like that song because I pretty much like everything that's out the year I was born.
But yeah, it's weird that it's like Return of the Jedi, which is 1983, and there's Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is 1985.
Maybe it was still showing in France in 85.
Yeah,
maybe. They really researched it.
Yeah, maybe.
Re-released it or something in the cinema.
Yeah.
Could be. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's really, really, really worth for you picking up. It's very, there are some games that come out in a generation that you go, well, this game is gonna kind of, mark a generation. I think this is one of them.
Yeah.
This is one game that people are gonna be like, oh my god, remember Bioshock Infinite? Remember that game? And everybody, oh yeah, remember? So I think it'll be one of those games.
Yep. So kudos to Mr. Ken Levine and Irrational Games for creating a very believable and beautiful world to explore. And gameplay is,
I'm glad they delayed it now.
Yeah.
so they could put
It
out
was what? Sorry.
so they could put out this game. I'm glad they delayed it. So
Yeah, because it was supposed to be out last October,
yeah,
and what would it have been like if it didn't if it got released in October?
yeah. Would it be the same thing?
Because then it wasn't supposed to have multiplayer at one point,
Yeah. Yes, it was.
which I think would have been a big mistake.
Oh yeah. I'm glad they focused on single player stuff and forgot about the multiplayer. Tacked on multiplayer.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what the
'cause
DLC is going to be like, though.
yeah, because the season pass for it, and I think there's going to be 3 pieces of DLC,
Hmm.
and people are wondering, is there going to be like 3 DLC similar to Minerva's Den, which I've still yet to play.
Oh god, I hope so. Minerva's Den is fantastic. That's I think the only great thing about Bioshock 2. Minerva's Den.
It's better than the main game
Oh yeah,
itself, the
it's
actual
much
DLC.
better. Much better than the main game.
I actually might go back to Bioshock 2 once I'm finished with Infinite, though.
Yeah. It's a good game, but it's nowhere near what Bioshock and Infinite are. So, yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough Bioshock talk. We'll probably talk more about,
Next
in
week.
the future.
Yeah.
Next week anyway.
Yeah.
Give our final thoughts, because we'll probably have it finished by then.
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure we will.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get into the news here. Like we are last week, we just chose a few stories we'd like to talk about at a certain length, though, and then just summarize the rest of the, some of the rest of the news. Just briefly go over them, though. First off, the news is that last week, the week before, is like John Riccitiello resigned from EA.
Yeah.
So he did. And this week I will now have another top executive resigning from another publisher, Square-Enix, and that is Yoshi Wada, who basically resigned from Square-Enix after the announcement that they expected a 10 billion yen loss, which hopefully it says what that equates to, which I don't think it does.
I don't think it does, no.
It doesn't, unfortunately. It's basically Yoshi Wada, whose long-running career in the games industry saw him he became the president in 2000, and he basically says in the following announcement that the company expects to make extraordinary loss, and it's basically, there's a thing here of it though. It's like 10 billion yen. I'm assuming that's probably in like the hundreds of millions of dollars anyway. So it is.
I can tell you here. I'm on Google. So it's 10 billion. So that's 10
billion yen. Yeah.
000 000 000. Right. There's like 9 zeros in 10 billion. Yeah. Okay. So that's in the U.S. dollar. It is $106,146,000.
That's actually less than I expected it to be. I thought it'd be a bit more than that.
Okay. It's 106 million. Pretty much.
So basically, he's resigned now, and Yosuke Masuda will be taking over. I think it's probably coming for a while, because the fact is that Square Enix has not been doing good, especially the fact is that certain releases, according to them, haven't reached their sales targets that they planned out, which we'll talk about in a bit later on with them Sleeping Dogs and Tomb Raider and the like. And basically, the resurgence of these titles has triggered Square Enix to undergo major restructuring of its development policy, organization structure, and business models. Due to the cost of the restructuring, Square Enix expects to post a loss of 10 billion yen for the financial year ending March 31st. So he's been working with them, for a while now, and he became the president, and he's going now. So
yeah.
I know you couldn't care less though, Dennis, because you're not really affiliated with Square Enix stuff apart from the publishing side of things.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this, Charly?
I don't know. It comes down to like the sales targets. I know that's why Wada's resigned, but it seems a little unwarranted, really. I mean, I know you're going to talk about it in a bit, but talking about disappointing sales for Tomb Raider, They didn't seem that disappointing to me. That seemed like pretty good sales.
Yeah.
That's the fact, yeah, because a lot of people saying, why are they going on about this as failure?
Yeah.
It sold like 3 million copies in 2 weeks or something. It's like, really? That's a
Yeah.
failure? But according to some people, that is a failure in today's world.
Well, I just can't. I think that perhaps it's not poor sales, but unrealistic expectations. I don't know how much WADA has to do with that, obviously, but it seems to me like, unfair expectations, and perhaps they need to spend a little bit less on marketing these games, because I know they've spent a lot of money on it, and I know they need to market to sell. But I don't know. It seems like the unfair expectations is the reason this has happened.
Yeah, and the fact is that he was he was like head of Square Enix when Final Fantasy 14 came out, and that game bombed
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. I haven't played that
And
one.
I think the original team, I think, pretty much got fired, and a new team had to come in and pretty much restructure that game.
Yep.
So that didn't help matters either. And I only played about 30 minutes of the beta though when it came out, and I just like, nope. It's just very clunky, very unfriendly user interface.
Yeah.
It's just pretty much very quite similar to 11, but worse.
Well, hopefully him resigning, it does bring in some sort of fresh perspectives and things, and they turn things around a little bit. But I think there just needs to be, I don't know, it's just so hard to hear that failure of certain games is the reason this has come about, and the games that are being listed don't seem like a failure. If he'd said, it's because of the, I don't know, people complaining that Versus isn't out yet and things are taking too long, and if it was things like that where it does feel like there's been a little bit of failure on that count, but to hear things like Tomb Raider listed as one of the reasons is just frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fact, like a lot of people don't really care for Square Enix in terms of a developer anymore. Like most people don't care for them though. But like in terms of the publishing side of things, they're quite good. Like they've published great games like Tomb Raider, Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Two
very good games.
And what's it?
Hitman.
Human Revolution. It's the Hitman as well. Like some like good games that came out in the last few years though, but a lot of people don't really care for them in terms of the develop. Like a lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy 13-2 whatsoever. I must be one of the only people out there that actually thought that game was pretty good.
I really loved it. I liked 13 as well, but it was a bit slow to get going. But I felt like 13-2 was just great from the beginning, and I love the battle system and the recruiting of monsters and everything like that. I thought it was a good game.
I prefer the story to 13 now, because the fact is it took like 25 hours to actually something to happen in that bloody game.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I won't say anything about 13.
I don't care, Dennis, if you say, oh, this 13 sucks. The fact is, I like the game though, pretty much apart from the story. And people think the story in that game is fantastic, which I cannot agree with.
I'm sorry, but the characters, like I guess you would say the main characters, and what's her name? What's
Lightning?
No. The other one.
Oh, Vanille.
Oh,
Vanille, yeah.
Vanille. I love Vanille. She's my favorite character.
Don't. Okay, there's two opposite perspectives there. Des hates her.
Oh, I love her.
She's just too. I don't know. She's just too like. She's like really perky and always excited and always I don't know. And you have the other guy, the other dude. What's his name? The kid there.
Hope.
Yeah.
He's a lot better in 13-2. He's not like a.
I killed my mom.
Yeah, if you play 13-2, he's actually quite different in it than he was in 13.
Okay.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, people said he was going to be a lot better, and I'm like, yeah, whatevs. And then, actually, I was quite surprised. He's actually so different, and, I like Hope in that one. And I didn't like Hope in 13.
Nah.
No. He's
I didn't really
whining
care
all the time.
too much about the story. Like I said, I didn't care too much about the story in 13-2. I just like 13-2 more. I like the time travel aspect. This, forget what the flipping actual Historia Crux, I think it's called.
That's what I was going to say, something like that, but then I was wondering if I was getting confused.
Yeah, and like I actually like the villain in that game as well, Chaos.
Yeah.
As well, because in 13 there's not really a villain. There's not gay, but that's kind of like you don't actually know who the actual sort of proper kind of antagonist is till like near late of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm 30 hours into this game and I still don't have a clue who the actual antagonist is. Is this bloody priest guy? What's his name? Bartholus or whatever?
I don't know. I always pronounce Final Fantasy names wrong. I've been calling him Bethandalus in my head, but I'm sure that's incredibly wrong.
I think I might be right though, but
yeah,
it's
you
something
probably
along
are.
those lines
I'm
anyway.
Terrible. For like 10 years of playing the games, I was calling, is it Bahamut or whatever? I was calling him Baramet. There's not even an R in it, but in my head I'd just been calling him the name wrong for years. I just random like that.
I actually think I called him Bahamut as well until I heard the actual pronunciation.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Bahamut, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, another loss in the thing. I just have to see what Square-Enix does in the future, because I know Lightning Returns is coming out this year, which on the HD versions of Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2.
Yeah, surely
And
they will
also-
sell like hotcakes. I feel like maybe not Lightning Returns so much, but the 1 and 2 of Final Fantasy 10. Yeah, that feels like that's gonna sell lots of Vitas, and I think so anyway. I think that's gonna sell really well.
Yeah, I really loved 10. 10 was great. I thought 10 was really good, but 10-2, no, not so much.
I love
10-2's 10-2's kind of a. I already played like an hour of it though.
No.
Unfortunately, I'd like played it when it came out and never touched it since. I didn't hate the game. I just one of those games. Like there's a bunch of games I just played once and just never touched.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I put so many more hours into 10-2 than I did 10. I like 10, but 10-2's battle system's so much better, and
It's the dress spheres, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get over the fact that it's like dressing up Barbies, you get, like, if you just sort of ignore that and look at it as like a class system, I suppose, it's actually really fun, and I liked how customizable your characters were. I got addicted to that game. I think it stopped counting how many hours I put into it.
It just went up to 99, 59, 59 or something,
Yeah,
was
it
it?
just stopped, yeah. I think I ended up with 99.7% completion because I missed one tiny little thing in the desert, and it's like one part in the game where you couldn't go back. It's like I found this one camera or something, and I'd been playing for the most part without a guide, but I got near the end and I thought, oh, I'm going to go back and find out what I'd missed, and I found that one bit. So I got like the second ending instead of the very good ending, which is
Yeah, because the
frustrating.
true endings. Yeah, because the true endings basically have to get 100%, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and finish Final Fantasy 10 because I got very late. I got pretty much the last dungeon in the game, like within Sin, and that's where I stopped because I was way too weak from the enemies. Some of the enemies in there are just basically like the
they're
two
tough.
big iron golems or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically took me forever to kill.
Yeah,
I was
they're
too
tough.
weak there, but I feel like I cheated on the end boss because I summoned, is it Yojimbo? I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had no life, I had nothing left, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to summon this guy, and somehow he instant killed him.
Wow.
Yeah, I just one hit, and I sort of thinking, was it that I just was really close to the end and didn't realize it? But I sort of looked at like what his health was like supposed to be, and I sometimes when Jimbo comes out, he does different attacks, and he did the one that instant kills. I don't think I could have instant killed him at the start with him, but I think at a point when his life is at a certain level, I managed to instant kill him and get to the end. But it feels a bit cheap. I feel like I cheated.
Yeah, I don't think so, but it's in the game. So.
No, that's not cheating. No, that's just quite lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's luck. Took me a while to kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's luck. But yeah, it's good. It's good that you got him in one try.
Yeah.
One shot kill. That's good.
Anyway, other games coming out.
Well, maybe
Ralph.
maybe we should keep up with the.
Yes, keeping up with the Square-Enix
Yeah.
lot though. Tomb Raider, Sleeping Dogs, and Hitman Absolution failed to reach sales target.
Yeah.
Basically underperformed. Tomb Raider has sold 3.4 million units worldwide since it launched this month. Hitman Absolution has moved 3.6 million copies
To date.
to date, and Sleeping Dogs has sold 1.75 million units since its summer launch, which I still think is pretty decent though for that game, because I know that's a game that I don't think a lot of people would not be looking forward to, and
Yeah.
I think people got because of the buzz around it when it came out.
Yeah. Like it got very small buzz. Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
So.
But like I know, like a lot of people picked it up though after hearing people going raving about it though, and that's a great game though nonetheless.
Yeah.
But it says these figures do not account for digital sales.
Wow.
So the fact is, Sleeping Dogs could have done better, because the fact is it tends to be on Steam all the time on sale.
So these are just boxed copies.
Yeah,
of all
these
the
just
games.
seem to be
Damn.
retail sales. So there could be another, maybe, let's say probably another 500,000, I guess, maybe more,
Sleeping
added on to these.
Sleeping Dogs was part of PlayStation Plus as well, wasn't it? Wasn't it a freebie?
Yeah, it was a free there for a few months ago, so it was.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously, like, it's good. It introduces a bunch of people who would never have played it, but also people who might have considered playing it are getting it for free anyway. So,
Yeah.
surely that would count for some of the lowered sales, not a lot, but.
Yeah, it says Square-Enix said despite a high critical acclaim for each title, sales still came up short. In particular, the publisher called its North American sales force ineffective, noting that title sales in this region made up just a third of the number of units sold in Europe. So apparently, they sold much better in Europe than they did in North America, according to Square-Enix. I still don't get the fact that people's 3.4 million copies in not so a few weeks, and they're saying that's a failure. This is the problem some publishers tend to have, where they think, oh, this game's big, it's going to have a hyper buzz, it's going to sell like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And that's problem with some publishers nowadays, where they think that their game is going to sell like Call of Duty, which sells like, millions of copies within its first few weeks, and then still sells consistently throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because it still remains in like the top 10 selling games, or top 20 in the charts each week.
Well,
So,
nothing's going to sell like Call of Duty ever. I mean,
No.
Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It is what it is, so it sells.
a tired franchise.
Yeah, well, people buy Call of Duty. It sells, a whole lot of copies, and if publishers think that their games are capable of selling as much as Call of Duty is, I'm sorry, but you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not how it goes.
ludicrous. So
like
3 million copies for like Tomb Raider and Hitman. Like, that would be like that'll be maybe 10 years ago that actually would be deemed very successful.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays in this recession world, like the economy's not that great compared to what it was. A lot of people, a lot of studios closing and not there. It's just like, yep, this is a failure.
Exactly.
Still sold pretty well for the most part, but no, still a failure because of the, we want to sell 10 million copies in the first month. We want to sell like Call of Duty numbers. I'm sorry, but if like you said, Dennis, if you're expecting that, you're just gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna succeed at surpassing Call of Duty. They're in the league of their own right now, so
yeah,
that's how it goes.
but it's not one of the. It's one of the most popular online games in the world, for a reason.
Yep. Exactly.
It's no League of Legends though.
Yeah.
League of Legends is immensely popular.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like 30 odd million or more play it.
Yep. Whole lot of people play that. So.
What are your thoughts, Charlie?
On the sales targets. It's pretty much what I said before, that it just seems like they've got silly expectations. I mean, you're right. People see these sales of Call of Duty numbers and think, oh, we need to find our own Call of Duty. But Call of Duty is unique in that, I mean, obviously it seems very generic, but it's unique because it drags in a lot of people who aren't traditionally spending their time playing video games. I mean, I've worked a lot of midnight launches for Call of Duty, and you get all sorts come in. I've had people call up to pre-order, Call of Duty and go, oh, can I buy the system on the night too? It's like, yeah. People are coming in because they want to play that game, and they'll just buy the system along with that game. They're not traditional gamers. It's just it draws in such a broad crowd. Tomb Raider, not so much, because I mean, a lot of people can say that the fact that it's a female character. I know there was. I wish I had a link to the study, but they found that games that had female characters as a lead sold significantly less than similar games with male leads. Just they don't know why, because obviously they've found that it's around 50-50 split male to female in the people who play games, but it just seems to be that female character games don't sell as well. But chasing a Call of Duty sort of sales, I just think is unrealistic for a lot of other games. I mean, something like the new Grand Theft Auto, obviously that's going to sell like crazy as well. But again, the increased costs of making all these games means that they set their expectations higher, which means then they have to market it because they need to get the return. And it's just like, we've got these ballooning costs, and at the moment, like you said, with the way the economy is and everything, people are spending less on games. Even in the small gaming community, the amount of people who are saying, oh, I'm waiting for the game to do a price drop, or I'm going to work on my backlog this year, because it's just getting really expensive to keep up buying all these games. So I think,
and that's why. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the costs are getting more expensive, but the sales just aren't there to support it. So good games that were made well and sell well are still a failure, just because obviously the cost benefits they're not in line with each other.
Yeah, Saints Row the Third, for example, sold 4 odd million copies or more, and that was deemed a success. But unfortunately, it didn't do wonders for THQ because THQ is gone.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, they spent a bunch of money on that UDraw tablet software thing, and that was a colossal failure for them. That pretty much, put the nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah.
So it did.
Instead of concentrating on the stuff that sold, they try to go bold and go with the UDraw, which was garbage. Didn't sell very well. So.
Yeah, I think there was heaps of them on Pirate. I think they had to end up just pretty much giving them away.
I think we were selling them for $10 or something. A few weeks after, a few months after they came out, they were bargain bin. I think I sold one in the entire time I was working at EB Games. I sold one UDraw tablet.
Do you know what price it was when it came out?
Here, I think it was $90. I think it was 90, maybe 99. But it dropped rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody bought them, so.
Because no one had bought them, as well.
Yeah, even when they went down for really cheap, they weren't selling. I think in the end, I'm not sure if they even got recalled to their sort of head office, because they were just sick of having them sitting in stores.
Taking up space and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of these, please. We don't want them.
Yeah, make the store look messy after they've been sitting on the shelf for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only so many times you can dust it and think, nah, it's time for this one to get put in the storeroom and put something out that might actually sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's too bad for them, but it's like, you have these big franchises like Call of Duty. You're talking about Grand Theft Auto, which is a very big franchise and will sell probably very well when it comes out. The 5th one when it comes out. So, yeah, you have those unique franchises that anybody goes out there and says, okay, I'm gonna get Call of Duty. I'm gonna get Call of Duty, and not really a gamer. Like, it's pretty much like Madden over here, and probably
And
FIFA over
FIFA.
there. So,
Yeah.
those sports games that, you have guys that don't play other types of games and go out and say, hey, I'm buying Madden today. And they buy Madden, and that's the only thing they play for the entire year.
Yeah.
Must be the same thing with FIFA over there. A whole lot of football fans over there.
Yeah,
play
FIFA. Yeah, pretty much whenever FIFA comes out, it sells by the truckload, and it stays up in the charts for a good number of months afterwards.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people like some people bad like when it comes out, and then a lot of people get it for Christmas or whatnot.
Yeah, and those aren't gamers necessarily that play Madden.
Yeah, they're just like casual
FIFA.
people like this. Like I just play Call of Duty, I just play FIFA, I just play Madden or whatever,
Mhm.
or Grand Theft Auto. Just like those kind of games. I don't go and play games like you and I do now.
Yeah, exactly. They don't go out and buy Bioshock Infinite or Tomb Raider or Sleeping Dogs. They won't buy those
Or
types of games.
Or Shenmue.
Or well, yeah, Shenmue especially. Yeah.
Because Shenmue is one of those renowned ones back, 10 years ago for costing a lot of money to make back then.
Mhm.
It cost $70 million, and it didn't sell very well, and therefore we never got a Shenmue 3 because of it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we ever will. I have a little hope that it actually would come out in some form or another, though, but
Yeah.
I doubt it. I just love that series so much. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
A few games have been sort of confirmed pretty much this week, so they have. The first one is Battlefield 4 has been confirmed for Xbox 360, PS3 and PC, and it's coming out in fall 2013.
And Wii U and PS4.
And PS4
Yeah.
is of course as well, probably. It'll probably be on the next gen systems.
Yeah.
It's going to be powered by the Frostbite 3 engine, and it's a new standard for interactive entertainment in 2013.
Mhm.
There's a 17-minute gameplay trailer, which I've not watched.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Because I have really no interest in this game whatsoever.
Mhm.
What about you, Dan? You watched the trailer, did you?
Yeah, I watched the 17-minute gameplay trailer. I watched it. I mean, the graphics, aside from the freaking lens flare and everything, it's like you're in J.J. Abrams' movie or something. But yeah, there's a whole lot of lens flare and all that. But I guess that's par now for these types of games. And it does look, it's a shooter. I mean, there's nothing. What can you say apart that from it's a shooter? It's like a generic story, generic soldiers, going through the. It does look okay, and the trailer is pretty exciting and everything, but it's when it comes out, it's gonna be pretty generic. Like I played Battlefield 3, the single player campaign, and it was nothing very exciting at all. So I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be the same. I'll probably end up buying it, knowing myself, but I'm not gonna go, oh my god, this is the game of the year. It's fantastic, So. But this is another game like Call of Duty where people buy it and play online. So
Yeah, because mainly they have the pretty much kind of throwaway single player for people
Yep.
who really care about it though. But the main of these games is a multiplayer, and that's what people come in and play it though.
Yep.
Like I played some of Battlefield 3 multiplayer, and I liked it
yeah,
for the most part. I actually liked it more than I did Call of Duty, because you don't get killed every 5 seconds.
yeah, it's a little bit fairer for people who are not good at shooters, online shooters. It's a little bit more fair when you play it than Call of
Yeah.
Duty where you get killed every 5 seconds. But yeah, it's really funny to me, and a lot of people were making that remark that they didn't show any multiplayer in a game where it's supposed to be like very multiplayer based, very very multiplayer focused, and
Yeah, because they don't want to blow their load all of a sudden at
Yeah.
at the moment.
But-
they'll keep churning stuff in and stuff and bits and pieces throughout the year until it's released.
yeah, it is EA, so don't ask too many questions about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that it's been revealed. Is there a date? They haven't.
No, it's just fall 2013.
Yeah.
It'll probably be October because that's when the last one was released.
Yeah, pretty much the same time as Call of Duty. Pretty much the
Yeah,
same.
October, November.
Hmm.
competitive, and of course there's going to be a Call of Duty,
Of
which is
course.
apparently Modern Warfare 4,
Of course.
which will sell. Which,
Yeah.
like, I don't think you play any of these games now, don't you, Charlie?
No, I have no interest. I'm trying to think the last shooter I actually played. It was a long time ago. I can't even
Yeah.
think. I'm thinking it might be Gears of War 2. I
Which
usually
was
spend
pretty
most of my
good.
time shooting the ceiling than the floor and the ceiling. I have no control over those games. The reason I enjoy the Gears ones is because it is obviously third person, but it does have that cover aspect where I can sort of sit there, and if I'm playing co-op, usually someone's kind enough to sort of clear out
Do
the
the work.
area, and I just take on a couple of guys that get too close to me. It's something that I lack the talent to play those sort of games. So Battlefield is zero interest. To me, it just feels like more of the same. High definition, grey and brown. The environments just
Yeah, very much. Very much so.
boring. Yeah, I must say
Pretty much.
the trailer, was it for the Killzone that's coming out for PS4? I was like, that one caught my interest. Like, I have no interest in actually playing the game, but it looked like it was trying to put a bit of colour into the world, which, that was nice. But no interest in shooters.
Yeah, like you're that's probably what your least favorite genre, I presume, or
Yeah, that
would
and
it be
sports.
something else?
That and sports titles. Other than the Mario sports titles, I'll play those. Like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, just because they're so... It's the word arcadey, I guess. But yeah, anything that's overly serious, I tend not to enjoy.
Yeah, least favorite for me would be strategy games, like RTS especially. I just cannot touch. I tried them a few times, but they're just too much for me.
Well, you did play XCOM, so.
That's turn-based strategy.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
usually have time to think.
yeah.
It's not like RTS where you basically like StarCraft, where I take 20 minutes to flipping. You have to try to think 5 minutes ahead
Yeah.
in that game, and I'd be completely lost.
You're building a turret, and by the time you build a turret, you're getting attacked by every side
Yeah,
from the other guy. Yeah, that's not my thing either.
no.
Really do not like those types of games at all. So,
Yeah.
but
So that'd be your least favorite genre, I presume.
for me,
Yeah, what'd be your least favorite genre?
yeah, I guess RTS would be my least favorite. My favorite, I have, I don't know. It's, I would have said, like, you would have asked me this like a year or 2 years ago, was said shooters. But now the shooters are getting so freaking generic and bland and boring, and I don't even know if it's shooters anymore. Like, I tend to enjoy North American RPGs better than shooters now. So, I loved Awakening. What is it? Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning.
Yeah, Kingdoms of Reckoning.
I
Yeah.
love that game. I love Mass Effect. Those types of games I really, really do enjoy. Or open world games like Saints Row, Sleeping Dogs, which aren't necessarily shooters. They're, I guess you could call them action adventure, or what? Action, probably.
Yeah, action adventure would be open world action adventure kind of way.
Those games are
They'd
marvelous.
be action adventure, like hack and slash, like sort of action, mainly focusing on action. Like action adventure games are my ones, like God of War, Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
That's kind of my favorite genre. Like like Zelda as well, like those kind of games, like platformers. Like they're kind of be my favorite genres. But like I'm like RPGs and that also. I like most genres, just strategy, just and like sports games for the most part.
Yeah. I can understand. I have nothing against sports games, but I'm not a Madden guy. I freaking hate football. I don't mind FIFA that much. Soccer's not very popular in Canada though, but it's still fun, to play. I play as, either, an English team, Liverpool or whatever, But we do have our league over here, so we have the MLS now, so we have a team in the MLS, so I guess, it's getting a little bit more popular now, so that's a good thing for us, I guess. But yeah, sports game, baseball, hockey, those are some of my favorites. So
Yeah.
so there you go.
Okie dokie. Next story, pretty much to the surprise of no one. It was announced at GDC this week through a little one of the like panels. I think it was one of the first panels of it was I think it was known as something. I forget. It was something of the Metal Gear Solid, the core of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
hmm
And basically, there was a trailer I think shown at the start of it though that had footage from Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain. These trailers that was shown before. And then at the end, it basically said, yep, this is Metal Gear Solid 5. And
Yep.
pretty much that surprised no one because we pretty much expected Phantom Pain to be Metal Gear Solid 5.
hmm
Because a lot of people watched that trailer, I think it was shown at Spike.
Yeah, Spike Video Games Award. Yeah.
And the end of it had the the logo of the Phantom Pain, and if you actually seen at the background of it though, you could see faintly it had said Metal Gear Solid 5.
hmm
And then people figured that out, and that's what showed at the end.
Yeah.
So it's Metal Gear Solid 5 is both the Phantom Pain and Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes combined apparently, but I believe it's actually they're kind of separate games.
Yeah, two different games. Yeah, two separate.
Yeah, but they're kind of like combined together and make up the sort of Metal Gear Solid 5 story.
hmm
Basically, it's like Hideo Kojima came out and basically announced it though, and then showed off like the trailer, and then showed off this small gameplay demo
hmm
of the game with the Fox engine, and basically it just basically consisted of Snake crawling through the hospital here, following a bandaged guy
hmm
with a face who sounded a lot like Kiefer Sutherland.
hmm
If that's not Kiefer Sutherland's voice, I'd be pleasantly surprised because it sounded a lot like him.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of this at all? Any of you?
Yeah,
I did.
I watched
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I did. Yeah. I mean,
What are your thoughts? Do you think it looks good, the Fox engine, or what?
yeah, it does look good. I don't know what it's going to be like. Is it going to be like Metal Gear Solid 4, which I pretty much enjoyed? I really like that one. So I hope it's in the same vein, like not.
It's supposed to be open world, I believe. It's going to be open world or something
Okay.
this time round.
Okay.
So
So yeah.
that's gonna be interesting.
hmm It is.
Because when he regains his mobility, Metal Gear Solid 5 will become an open world game. So
Yep.
they're going in a different direction here with the Metal Gear Solid series,
Mhm.
where it's not just going to be, structured linear pathways. It's going to be more open world. You can explore this, fast environment and, these probably different variety of missions.
It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What they do with that.
Like, I would say I'm a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, though. I never finished 3, though. And I absolutely love 4. 4 is one of my favorite games this generation.
It is a great game.
And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what 5 is. I doubt we'll probably see it. I'll say probably at this rate we probably won't see anything until about 2015 at the latest.
Probably, yeah.
Because Metal Gear Solid 4 I think was shown at 2006 or 2005 and didn't see it for another 3 years.
hmm
2 or 3 years, so probably be the same way here. Yeah, I watched the Fox engine thing though. It looked very interesting though because it showed you these like things. Showed you like this photo of their conference room, and then it showed the actual conference room in the Fox engine, and like these little other things in the Fox engine as well. It looked very good. Kind of looked quite realistic. Very very minimal difference. So it looks very interesting indeed. At the end of the day, I'll probably checking this out anyway. Have you ever played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, Charlie? Or
I played through the first one, and I played, I think, most of the second one. When we were playing those, obviously I was a bit younger, and it was sort of more of a family, because my dad played Metal Gear predominantly, so we would sort of mostly watch him playing the game and then play bits here and there as well. So I don't think I've actually played through all of 2 from start to finish. I actually got stuck in 3 as well. But then I've met my partner, and he's Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear collector. So we've got, I don't know, it feels like it's like 7 copies of Metal Gear Solid 4 or something. So I've watched through them again. 3 is definitely my favourite story-wise. I think it was just a bit difficult for me because of the survival aspect that they introduced. I wasn't great at that, like catching prey and things like that. I was just rubbish at. 4, I didn't ever play. It looks good, but it to me just wasn't as good as 3. I was hoping 5 was going to be back to sort of more like 3, but I mean, obviously with the open world thing, and Kojima has said that he wants to recreate Metal Gear Solid with this game, so I'm thinking it's going to be quite different from the others. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. I don't think we'll see it for a long time though.
Yeah, it's another prequel, I believe, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think it takes place. I think because it is
between.
I think it is. That's
after,
Big Boss.
yeah.
I think it's probably
after 3.
because I think it. Yeah, or Peace Walker, I believe.
Yeah.
Because the Portable Ops and Peace Walker are pretty much the continuation of the Metal Gear Solid 3 story.
Yeah.
I've never played through 3 though, but actually know this story because there was a disc, I don't know if you've got in your version now, for Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Yeah.
Whereas this disc would pretty much contain pretty much the game of Metal Gear Solid 3, and was condensed in this 3-hour movie. So it was, and I watched it before I played through Metal Gear Solid 4. And very, so I know what the story is though, but I like to play through that game because I know that's a lot of people's favourites in the series.
Yeah. Love the music. It's one of my favourite soundtracks.
Yeah, Snake Eater's cool, and the other one was a Calling of the Night.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome as well. Because I know that was in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
So good.
Continuing on here, for the fact is, it's Metal Gear Solid news that David Hayter, who is renowned for being the voice of Solid Snake or Naked Snake, Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 3, is not returning to be revoice Snake or Big Boss. It is going to be actually someone different. It says longtime Snake voice actor says Kojima did not ask him to reprise role in an upcoming Metal Gear Solid game. Kojima confirms Hayter won't return. So it's going to be someone completely different now to voice him though.
Yeah.
And I think people are speculating that it might be, what's his name, Richard Doyle.
Is that who
did the voice?
Big Boss. Yeah, for 4.
Yes, because he'd be a bit older this time now than he was, back in because the Metal Gear Solid 3 was set in the 60s.
Yeah. And
then I think the Portable Ops and Peace Walker were set in the 70s. So basically he would be older then. It'd be more the 70s or 80s though, and therefore can't really have him being the same voice though, because I think a lot of people didn't really like Hayter's voice as Old Snake in MGS4. I didn't really have a huge problem with it though, but I know a lot of people from my Twitter feed didn't really care for it though, and he will be back though. So as long he won't be returned after the game's announcement, Hayter trade. Well, look, at least I had a good run. After he was supposed to reprise his role, he bluntly stated nope, and therefore he won't be back though.
And now there's like a petition or something. I saw it this morning on Twitter. There's a petition going to get him put in as the voice, which is just ridiculous to me. I don't know.
Petitions never work.
Yeah, well, it's just Kojima has obviously, or whoever, has made the decision that he's not appropriate for the role for some reason. I know they've kept the Japanese voice actor. So obviously there was some reason they haven't chosen to use Hayter. So I don't see why people can get so up in arms about the fact that he hasn't been chosen. I was reading an interview with Kojima, and it basically sounded like he just didn't think that he would be appropriate for the role because they want to recreate Metal Gear and they just don't think that he is a good fit. So whether or not there's going to be a little bit more acting involved, I don't know. But yeah, I just think this is stupid. That I feel like Metal Gear is Kojima's creative baby here, and if he's decided that it's not appropriate to have him there, then whatevs. You just sort of have to trust these things. I think it's ridiculous that people have, before even seeing who they've chosen, are just up in arms about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's his decision. He decides what
Yeah.
to do. David Hayter. Yeah, everybody loves David Hayter as Snake, but this is a new direction. So
Yeah. Therefore, it's going to be a different voice, and people may either like it or hate it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with it
exactly.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. They'll have a choice. So I don't think he's going to go back on his word. So
Yeah.
yeah.
People are actually stating, some people, I don't know if they're going to keep out of it though, but actually some people feel that this actually might be a bit of a coup. And the fact is he actually is returning. This might be a little bit of a setup.
Really?
Well, that's what some people seem to speculate.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I suppose because Kojima has a thing for the dramatic every now and then, that they do like to pull these surprises, but I don't know. I think because they've already arranged the Japanese voice actor, and
Yeah.
they seem quite happy with his performance. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Hayter did the voice for Snake in the very first one, didn't he? Metal Gear Solid for PS1.
He did it for all of them.
Yeah, but I think there has been other actors, hasn't there? Or is that only for Big Boss in? I don't know. I'm confused now.
No, Metal Gear Metal Gear Solid, all of Metal Gear Solid games, he's been the voice. He did the voice of Snake in 1 and 2, and then did the voice of Solid Snake, Big Boss in 3, and Old Snake in 4.
Really? Interesting. I thought someone said that there was a different voice actor for 4. Anyway.
No, it was David Hayter did the voice of 4.
Oh well. I can't remember what I was saying, but I just think that we should just leave it well alone, and if they decide to change their mind and pick him up because of a silly petition, then I'll be disappointed.
Yep. I agree. They should, go with Kojima, should say, hey, it's my decision. You don't like it. Too bad. Too bad. So.
Our pulling out or writing on you again.
Yeah. We'll just put write it in the game, and that'll be that. But yeah, I think, they're doing the same thing for, what's it called? Man, what other game are they replacing Michael Ironside?
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, Splinter Cell. So they're doing the same thing there.
Yeah, and some people are not really happy with it either, because he's kind of the voice of Sam Fisher.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Anyway, the last story here that we'll talk about at length is Journey takes top prize at GDC Awards. The Game Developers Conference was this past week there, and it took the top prize. It won the game. It's the overall game of the year. Probably not a lot of people surprised, because it's a game that pretty much universally praised. It won a lot of people's Game of the Year awards last year. So it is. And just basically a lot of people really love it.
I haven't played it.
Me neither. So I can't really voice. Yeah.
So none of you have played it though. I'm the only one here who's actually played it though.
Yeah.
I personally love the game. It's a game. It's like you take 90 minutes to 2 hours to finish though, but it's a game that's sort of it just does give it an impact of me. I know a few people out there played it and just think, what's the fuss about? Why is this game so popular? It took place. It beat the other nominees for the Game of the Year were Dishonored, The Walking Dead, Mass Effect 3, and XCOM: Enemy Unknown. And the other ones that I finished were Mass Effect 3 and Walking Dead. And it pretty much won a lot of a few other ones. It's won best audio, best game design, best downloadable game, etc., etc. And it won and best visual arts, innovation. It won a bunch of awards. It pretty much took most of the awards of the GDC ones.
Yeah.
And the fact is, this is a little kind of indie game at best for a small studio that pretty much bankrupted them apparently.
Yeah.
So it was, and I just love the fact that it's this little game that could. just win all these awards and get universal praise.
Mm-hmm.
But I very recommend checking it out though.
Yeah.
Even though some people might find it a bit pricey though. Like some people say $15, like £10 for a 2-hour game. No thanks.
Mm.
I've spent games on that. I spent prices on games that are more than that, and they were worse.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Just some of the other awards, like best handheld mobile game, The Room won. Best narrative, The Walking Dead. No surprise there.
No, not at all.
And there's also the Independent Games Festival Awards that took place as well. And the game that you talked about last week, Dennis, that you didn't really think much of, won the grand prize.
Cart Life, yeah.
Cart Life. Bit big heavy hitters there, such as Faster Than Light, Hotline Miami, and Kentucky Route Zero and the like.
That really surprises me that Hotline Miami did not win that award, honestly. I'm surprised.
Because I know you really liked that game now, so you did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even FTL is better than Cart Life, so,
Have you any interest have you played The Walking Dead, Charlie?
I've played through the first episode and part of the second episode. I haven't played from then onwards. I was waiting for the full retail, because I bought it on Steam, and it wasn't released here because of the rating or something like that. But we ended up importing the PS3 version, and I was waiting for that to get here. And it's glitchy, like really glitchy. So I'm going to have to go back to the Steam copy and play through it again. I saw the end of the second episode because my partner played through it. And I was just thinking, oh, well, I kind of know every step to make it through the episode, so I'm sort of just been waiting till I sort of forget enough that it would be surprising. But I'm going to have to play it soon because, spoilers, people are just getting a little too... I'm pretty sure it's been spoiled for me. Sometimes it's hard to know if people are just joking, but I'm pretty sure it has been. But yeah, I've got to play it soon before people start telling me the ending.
Yeah, was my favorite game of last year.
Yeah.
So it was, and personally absolutely loved it though. It's definitely a game worth checking out. It's a very well made game, very excellent narrative, and just well thought out characters. Like the gameplay is not fantastic though. It's probably one of the worst aspects of the game, but it's not like bad now, but it's just adequate enough though. But it's just the story and the characters to get you through and just say what happens next, what happens to Clementine, what happens to Lee, what happens to Kenny, what happens to all these different characters, and just see their story go through and what happens with each of them at the end of the day. But like I said, apparently the second season's going to be out, starts near the end of this year.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Apparently, which I'm all for.
Yeah,
definitely get.
Maybe
you said the PS3 edition was glitchy. In what way?
It would freeze, like the screen would freeze on a picture on a screen, but the actual game would keep playing.
Oh, so the game would freeze though, but the actual audio would still go.
The game would be still playing, but you'd have a frozen picture, so you wouldn't know perhaps that you're supposed to be doing like a equivalent of like a quick time sort of event, and it'd be like or it would linger when you're trying to make a decision. So you would think that you'd made one decision, but you'd accidentally chosen another one, and that was really frustrating. There were some audio glitches where voices were out of sync, but that's something that you can deal with. But when it actually affects the decision you make, or you accidentally make the decision, that's something that I don't want to mess around with, because that's something I'll likely start again. If I accidentally make the wrong decision, I won't just keep going. So, I didn't have any of those problems when I was playing it on Steam, so I'll just continue with my playthrough there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised though, because I heard pretty much good things about the PS3 version. I know the 360 retail version was pretty bad. Like I know Pete Dorr and a few other people said about it though, like it was glitchy as hell and the frame rate was bad and all that there. But
yeah.
Then I heard the PS3 one was actually all right though. But
I mean,
yeah, I got the Steam version as well, and pretty much didn't have very few problems with that game.
It might have been patched now. I I haven't checked. I might pop it in and see if it tries to patch. But yeah, I just think that, I mean, the Steam copy seems to be the sort of the best version to go with, really, when it comes to that sort of thing. So I might as well just stick with it.
Yeah, the only problem I had was that the last episode didn't actually do the stats properly. It was all glitched out. It said like choice one, question one, choice one, just basically didn't actually say what the question and the choice you made were. It's all glitched out, and I think that was the case with all of the. I think that was the case with the 360 version as well until it got patched.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Derek as well had that problem.
Yeah, I think so.
So, anyway, that's what we'll do for sort of in discussion, like in-depth news now. But a few other news stories here, I'll just sort of briefly mention. The Ouya, which is this Kickstarter console, this open source console, is going to be launching on June 4th. I know it's going to be $99 now. It's going to be released in UK, United States, Canada, and United Kingdom. And it's supposed to be $99. I don't know what that'll be here. That'll probably be, say, maybe £60, £70, maybe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you's had any interest in this whatsoever.
And no, not really.
So it's the Uno for you then.
Yeah, it's not no Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okie
thing.
dokie.
Oh yeah. Not not interested. Not at all.
Charly?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably get one, though that very specific list didn't seem to include Australia. So, yeah, I just
You probably get it like a year
eventually,
after
yeah,
no
eventually.
news.
But I mean, I tend to buy most systems eventually, but I just don't really see it doing anything that Steam isn't doing now, really.
Mm-hmm.
I've got enough systems where I can sit at my TV and play games. I don't, at this point, really need another one. But saying that, I'm sure, if it starts picking up momentum and everything, I'll get one.
I'll just see what the whole consensus is about it, general consensus about it, the feedback, and see if it's worth picking up then, and then I'll check it out. But not at the moment, I have no interest. Because like I have my PC hooked up to my TV and all that there, and so I'm just fine with it. Play my stuff on it, and like my iPad anyway with a few games, so nothing worried about that. Sony warns of PS4 beta scam. So for the sort of dumbasses out there, basically going on the sites that there's actual fake websites there for people, or sites asking for people's personal information to get into the PlayStation 4 beta.
Mm-hmm.
And I am sorry, but once again, if you actually fall for that, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many though. So many people have got sucked in by it. Even just on my Facebook feed, I've seen people who are one of my friends, or my sister's boyfriend actually. He's all into like conspiracy theories and everything in the like government conspiracy theories and stuff. So this person, I would think that he would be sus, but he's like sent me a message like, "Oh my god, have you signed up for this?" And I'm like, hell no, I haven't. That's like the biggest scam ever. But so many people that I would think would be too smart to fall for it have been. Just the number of likes on the Facebook like pages and everything is ridiculous. And there's people.
Unless Sony's. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's people have gone in there and said, "Hey, Sony has said this is a scam. Stop liking it," and people still do. It's crazy.
Unless Sony said, "Hey, we're doing a beta," then I would go, "Okay, right, you're doing a beta. Sign up." But people are saying, "What? We're going to get a PlayStation 4 to test out or what?" That to me is just stupid.
Yeah,
though.
It's amazing how many people have fallen for it.
It's like this. There's people out there who fall for those, scams from Nigeria and all those ones, or like these things like and from Japan or something like dear Mr. Murr, we noticed recently that a member of the same surname as you has died.
Yeah.
Mr. Peter Murr. as Law said, here's just if you want to get his estate or whatever, his inheritance, register here or whatever. It's like, doesn't know that's a scam.
Yeah, exactly.
But people would actually be foolish enough to go for that, and then lose money or something in the process. Yep. We'll just ask you to send us a couple of £1,000 just to verify, and then it'll still go on about it. I don't know why. Phantasy Star Online 2 has been delayed in North America. There's actually no actual release date for this yet, wasn't it? It was supposed to be out.
Yeah.
I think it was actually supposed to be out early this year.
Yeah, they said early 2013, and they said, yeah, not going to make that.
And I assume, early 2013 is the first 3 months. So we're basically at the end of March, and there's absolutely no sign of it whatsoever, so I indicate that being delayed. Just basically no more thing as announced, though. It's probably unconfirmed period. So probably late this year or maybe next year. Because it's been out in July. It's been out in Japan since July of last year. I know a lot of people around here are actually looking forward to that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the extent, though, because I never actually got to experience the actual popularity of that game back in the day. Because I know a lot of people really love the Dreamcast version.
Yeah.
Like, I never got to experience it. I actually got the game, but I never actually went online with it. So I didn't, unfortunately. Don't know why I didn't. I actually never went online with my Dreamcast anyway, though. Because the phone line and all that there, because I didn't have like a phone line in the room.
Phone line is very bad for gaming.
Yeah, because that was the thing, you had to use that there for the time. Because I had a modem though, and you
Yeah.
had to use the phone line, but there was no phone line in our room. The phone line I think we used to actually connect to the internet was like somewhere else or something
Mm-hmm.
back then. Anyway, Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn draws 55 million views. This is this little wee web series that there was shown before Halo 4 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it's Halo. It's going to be megally popular, and therefore it's going to draw a lot of views.
Yeah.
I never watched any of this now. Did you?
I never
Dennis?
saw this. I don't even know what it is.
It's just basically like a web series, internet video series that was just basically released in time before the Halo 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly. I think it sort of, takes place before the events of Halo 4.
Mm-hmm.
It just leads up to the events of Halo 4.
Okay.
I heard it's pretty good though. I just never gotten around to actually trying them.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, to me, Halo 4 was overrated. It wasn't that great. I didn't think it was that great. Me and you did the campaign together, through and through.
The best thing about that game, for my opinion, is the graphics.
Yep. Because it's very bland. It's pick Cortana, put her in the computer slot. She talks a bit, then you take her out and you go back and do the same thing over and over and over again. So.
Yeah, a lot of people actually say this is actually the best Halo campaign, which is no. Some people love the ODST one.
I love that one.
I hate ODST because
Really?
I couldn't get past the first mission.
I thought that one was original and it was great. To me, it was really good.
I think my favorite one's Reach.
Reach was good also. Yeah.
Yeah, Reach. I really liked Reach's campaign, especially the end.
Yep.
It's a very good campaign. That's my favorite Halo campaign. And I just certain have a certain love for the Halo 3 one as well, just because the fact is, I remember playing it with yourself and James and that there co-op for the first time.
That was fun.
Back when it came out.
Yep.
That's still one of my more enjoyable online experiences.
It was a great time.
Have you played any of the Halo games, Charly?
I don't think I've played one since Halo 2. I played a little bit of Halo 3 at a launch event, but I haven't played it to any proper degree where I could actually give an opinion on it. I think 2 was the last one I played properly.
Okay. They're decent. It's good to see. Like, I know a lot of people don't care for it, though. I enjoy the Halo games, though. They're not fantastic, but they're
good
games.
They're good, I guess.
The Old Republic expansion, Rise of the Hutt, comes out on April 14th, which is a couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
First little expansion for Bioware Freedom and Play MMO game launching next month. Those who pre-order on or before January 37th can jump on April 5th. Or April 9th, sorry.
Okay.
So a few days early. So it'll be available by digital download for $20, but subscribers can get it for $10.
Okay. So
So
the DLC you have to pay for it, even though
it's an expansion, no, so
Okay.
they can't, we're giving you an expansion for free now.
yeah.
Like, even though we know that game didn't do very well in terms of sales ways and subscription ways, and therefore it's, free to play now.
Yeah, but apparently
Still
since
have
it's
to-
been free, there have been a whole lot of people subscribing and playing. Apparently.
Yeah, there's been a couple of million actually subscribed to it.
hmm
But of course they're going to do it because it's free.
Yeah.
Even if you do have to sort of pay to actually get the sort of full thing of the
Pay
game.
to win.
The fact is,
Yeah.
it takes forever to level up
hmm
when you're playing it for free.
Yeah. So pay to
Yeah.
win. That's
Pay
basically.
to level up faster.
Yeah. But yeah, I still have no interest in playing that game. Zero.
You only played the beta and you didn't really care
I
too much for it.
really, MMOs are not my thing either. So, World of Warcraft and all that, it's not my thing at all. So,
Charlie likes collecting the collector's editions of the World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I know she does.
I've got too many of those. I haven't played the game often though. Obviously, I would if I didn't have to keep paying the subscription cost. But when you're paying I think it's $45 for 2 months, and then you don't play for 3 weeks because you're busy. It's
Yeah.
suddenly like, oh man, that's $20 just gone.
Down the drain.
Yeah, if you were able to sort of pay for actual playtime, I would love that. So instead of it actually passing time when I'm not actually playing, even if it was just like you get this many hours in actual game time to pay for that would be sort of a model that would work better for me.
Oh yeah, like pay $20 for 15 hours of gameplay time, whatever it is. Yeah.
It
and
would
you
be
can
better, yeah,
do it. Yeah.
than
Can
me
do it
sort of-
anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Instead of me activating it and thinking, yeah, I'm going to play this for the next 3 weeks, and then suddenly something happens and I only get like 2 hours or something. That's just so frustrating. It happened a couple of months ago. I hadn't played for ages, and then I went back because I got like a free week's play or something. I activated a new time card, and then something went wrong with my internet, and I couldn't basically do anything other than just checking email and everything for about a month. So it just, yeah, by the time I actually got back on, I'd already wasted most of my time anyway. That's the
Yeah, I think
only-
it's his. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Other
go
than
ahead.
that's the only MMO I've played.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons also that I don't play an MMO is that I have other games to play, and if you play an MMO and you pay to play, and you don't play the MMO but you're paying for it, it's like you're losing money. You're like, okay, well, I'm losing money now. I'm not playing the MMO, so I'm gonna go play Warcraft instead of playing these new games that came out. And for people who love that, okay, that's cool. I know a lot of people, and I talked about this before. My cousin, each time I see him, he's like, "Dude, when you gonna start playing WoW? When you gonna start playing WoW?" Like, he's really into it. Like he has 4 characters, and I think his lowest character is at level 50 something. So he's like playing a whole lot with WoW all the time, and he's like, "When you gonna start playing it, dude? You only play WoW. I play, Bioshock Infinite. I play other games also, so I don't necessarily have time for MMO. So maybe if I was just playing an MMO, okay, maybe. But, I don't want to do that, then I'll have time to do that. So I'd feel like I'd be losing my money.
Guild Wars 2 is probably the one that would probably appeal to someone like you say, if you don't really need to pay for a subscription and say, oh, I can play this for a couple of hours and then get back to it sometime down the road again
Mhm.
if you want. Rather than oh, I paid, the money subscription a month, but it was a waste of time because I didn't play that whatsoever.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people really like Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know Andy
Sorry.
has been playing a lot of it. And he's got his, I think he's maxed his character up to level 80 or whatever it was.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I just go on and off World of Warcraft every now and again though, and don't know, just have had that game for 6 years now, and my highest character's like level 30 something. I never even gotten to like the expansion, the post game content, like the expansions or anything like that.
Mhm.
And I've got like all of them bar Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah.
Well.
I have Mists of Pandaria as well, and I think my only character's up to 67 at last time I checked. Yeah. Been on 67 for years. So, yeah. I did have, because I bought, the collector's edition I don't have is the first one. I have like 3 collector's editions of Cataclysm that I'm going to have to try and sell. It's just that we got them in at work, and I'm like, oh, they're so pretty, and I just felt bad that they were just sitting there. So I just bought them, and now I don't need 3 collector's editions of Cata. So, oh well.
Mhm.
Wasted money
Yeah.
again. WoW just parts me with my money too much.
It's the root of all evil, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
For that's the case of some people.
Yep.
Suck their life away. Unfortunately that's the case. Like, hear those stories as well. Wasn't there like a story like those stories about people, basically just playing nothing but WoW and like neglecting their child, like their child dies or whatever because they're too focused on playing WoW and things like that happening. Like their house pie becomes like a stink. Just doing no cleaning or anything like that. Just basically playing WoW or some other MMO all day long. It's like,
Korea.
how do you live in that
Koreans.
squalor?
Yeah. Koreans are like that. A lot of Koreans. Like.
Yeah, the fact there's like people die playing those games for hours and hours on end as well, like that in Diablo 3.
Like the couple where their baby died because they were playing WoW and they didn't take care of him. The baby died.
Yeah.
So, what the hell you're doing, A, having a baby, and B, treating it like that, I don't know. I don't understand how those people can have a baby. Those types of people.
Why did you first subscribe to WoW, Charlie?
I think 2008. I was moving to Queensland, and my manager, I was working with in the Melbourne store, because we were good friends. He's like, oh, look, I'm going to get you WoW, and we can keep up to date that way, which we did for a while, but it was just so hard to sort of coordinate when to play and everything like that. And he had so many I think at that point they were level 80s was the cap, 75, I can't remember. So he was all end game content, and I was, still killing moths at the beginning. So, yeah, I've pretty much been on my own since level 30, and it's really hard sometimes. And the content is always changing when you leave all these gaps between playing, and then there's like, obviously since the Cataclysm, I came back, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't even know where I am. Everything's changed so much, and I always forget.
Because I remember.
Yeah. I forget like which flight path and which ship, and I don't even know where I am right now. I think it was somewhere that doesn't resemble what it used to be. So, oh well.
Yeah, because I had my Night Elf Warrior though, and I played it, and then I stopped playing it though. This was like, I think it was 08 or something, and then I got the Cataclysm and like I was subscribed to again, and like download all the like updates and all of it though, and then I was just basically thrown in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have any of the quests I had anymore or anything like that. I was like, okay, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
I'm lost, and then just stopped. Didn't bother playing it then. I played there like not too long ago when the Mr. Pandaria came. I just downloaded the updates for it and then started a new Pandaren character, because that's the good thing about it. You don't have to get the expansion to play as the Pandaren race.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I think you need the expansion if you want to play as the new monk class. Is that right?
Yeah,
but to
correct.
actually be able to use the race, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I was a Pandaren mage. I think I got to level 13, I think, or something. and then just stop playing it though. The main problem I have with that game is I'd rather play it with people I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that's the only reason. Like no one I know plays this game, therefore it's not fun to me. I just play it for a bit. It's like I'm bored.
It's just people.
Like if I was able to.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, people
Go
see
ahead.
that I've been playing since 2008 or whatever and assume... I mean, I don't even know how to do the chat function properly. I am in, like, a guild, and, I'll accidentally talk to the entire guild when I mean to talk to one person. Like, I'm that annoying newbie that everyone's just like, oh. And I've been that way for 4 years because I cannot seem to pick it all up. And leveling up my character, because I've just got a paladin. I sort of play probably more like a tank. So I'm just hopeless. I can't heal myself. I'm walking off cliffs. Nobody wants to play with me for any extended time. I need someone with, like, I don't know, the best patience ever to put up with playing with me.
Unfortunately, we live in different regions, therefore we cannot play together.
Yeah.
Unless we get unless we can like sign up for like onto a private server or something. I think that's the only way we can do it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what my server is. Proudmore, maybe? I don't know.
Mine's called Alonsis, I know that now.
Yeah.
But I have a few actually though, but that's the one my Night Elf Warriors in, because that's the first, like I have it, I had a Blood Elf Warlock I think it was. No, Hunter, sorry, Blood Elf Hunter. And then I think I got rid of it though, deleted it though, and just used the started the Darren one there recently, and that was it. So
Have any of
anyway.
you ever pulled of Leroy Jenkins?
No, because I never actually did really a lot of raids or anything though. I did like a few little dungeons, so it was like some of the starting dungeons, but that's pretty much it. No, I didn't pull a Leroy Jenkins where I act like a complete idiot and go in and just get slaughtered.
Yeah. I don't think I've even made it through an instance because I've never had like a group or anything, but I think my playstyle is just traditionally Leroy Jenkins anyway. I'm just hopeless. I just walk into areas and get annihilated, and then I have to try and get my body back, so then I'll go back in there again, I'll get my body back, and then I'll die again, and it's like, yeah.
That's the worst part of the game though, sometimes, where you actually basically die and then you basically have spawn in the graveyard and it's like fucking 5 minutes away and you have to walk all the way to it in order to resurrect yourself, or if you just want to revive now you lose like 25% of your armor durability.
Yeah. I'm always too stubborn to do that. I always refuse. I just always got to get my body back, and I'll die again, and then I'll get a little bit closer each time to a town until eventually I haven't got a huge mob chasing after me.
You know what? All this war talk's probably gonna make me go up and fucking sign up for it again. Like, damn you anyway.
And you'll play for a week, and that'll be that.
Yeah, I played for a week, and I was like, yep, I'm bored again.
I think I've actually got a free week code sent through this week or something to me, so if I do decide, I'll only get a week's worth.
Yeah, problem is I'll have to install all of it again. That takes a dog's age.
Oh, yeah. From the start, yeah. Must take a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've installed all the discs and then have to download the gigabytes of other data. It's like, yeah, not going to bother with that anymore. Like, I'm just done with that game. Like, unless I find someone to play it with, though, for, periods of time.
Yeah.
No, I'm done with that game for good. And the last story here is violent games are creatively too easy, says Spec Ops writer.
No.
Walt Williams believes violent games are creatively speaking too easy. He's speaking today during a game developer conference. Williams lamented the ubiquitous use of killing in many first-person shooters, saying such actions have become not only mundane, but also run-of-the-mill and at times even used as filler. Which I agree with, because that's pretty much most violent games are nowadays. Like games that sell well or like, renowned for being quite violent.
Yep.
It's not just first-person shooters, it's other games like God of War. That's a pretty violent game.
There are a ton of violent games. I mean, jeez.
Like Bioshock Infinite's not for that is pretty violent as well with some of the kills in it.
Yep.
So if you're that kind of person who doesn't enjoy that there, then that's gonna be like like good half of the games out there. It's not gonna be catered to you.
Yep. There are a whole lot. I mean, to me, that it might sound like an old man or something, but games are getting a little more violent now than they were before.
Of course, because the fact is the tactical aspect of things now has improved a lot over the last 20
Yeah.
years.
So,
'Cause remember like Mortal Kombat,
yeah.
how it was deemed really violent back in the day. That's like so primitive compared to like stuff you see nowadays.
Yeah, you see it now and you go, well, was that violent? I mean, okay, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that violent to me anymore. So, but now you see all sorts of stuff, like you guys remember Manhunt, like how that game was deemed to be like one of the most violent games. I think Manhunt 2, was it Manhunt 2?
Manhunt 2 was the one that was like banned for a while, and then it actually eventually came out, but it was like a kind of a censored version of the game.
Yeah.
It cut out a lot of the more explicit stuff.
Like I never played the game, but I heard it was pretty violent in itself, and I'm pretty sure we play it today and we're like, "Bleh," it's nothing really, you know.
I never played the second one. I played the first one for a bit, and I didn't think too much of it.
No.
I just thought it was a pretty bland game.
Okay. So I mean, I'm not gonna harp on it, but maybe people are just freaking out for nothing. I don't know. So I don't, or maybe we've become so used to seeing violence that we're like, well,
Yeah, we're just basically sucked in now.
yeah, the guy gets his head sawed off or something, like cut off or something, blood squirts, and you're like, well, you're used to seeing that, so okay, whatever. Next.
We've seen that in 50 other games.
Yeah. You go, okay, whatever, next, So, like, I mean, just to give an example, in Bioshock, when you use the lightning, you see the guy's head just explodes, and the blood just squirts out of the body from the head, like a fountain or something.
Yeah, or if you hit them with a melee or something, if you have the fire gear thing, or you basically hit them with a fire, and then you could or you throw the devil's kiss.
Yeah.
And basically burns them, melts them.
Yeah.
You just see melts their skin and just see their skeleton.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, this would have come out like in the time of Mortal Kombat, people would be losing their freaking minds, and today it's like,
It'll be banned big time.
oh yeah. Today it's like, oh, there you go. Guy lost his head. Yay. All right.
That's one of the things as well. Like speaking to Charly, a lot of games are deemed too violent for Australia, and therefore they never actually get released in Australia. Like the last Mortal Kombat for the last year's Mortal Kombat for the PS3 and 360 was banned.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Walking Dead wasn't coming over either. I'm trying to think what else. We didn't get Syndicate.
Really?
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if that was if that was related to violence, but I had to dodgy import that one. I'm trying to think of other ones that are. There's been a lot of big ones. But we've just got our R18 rating come in. I think we had our first R-rated game, and that was God of War, the new one. I think that was the first
God of War
one.
Ascension.
Yeah. So we are now getting the games, but I don't know. There seems to be still room for games to be completely banned. I'm not exactly sure what a game will have to do to be banned, but yeah, hopefully it won't be so much of an issue. I mean, it doesn't affect me personally because I'm not one really for violent games. I haven't really been affected by it at all. I did end up importing Mortal Kombat just because I had sort of nostalgic attachment to the series, but generally violent games just aren't my thing. I tend to play JRPGs, and I don't really see them sort of borderline R-rated, so yeah.
No.
Unaffected, but glad it's all changing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that improves things over there, because I said you used to just get the short end of the stick with certain games. Like Mark Echo getting up contents under pressure got banned.
Yep.
Like, really?
Inciting graffiti or something.
Yeah.
And the is it NFL the Blitz? Is there a Blitz game?
Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blitz League. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one was banned because it promoted drug use or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty violent also. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been a few others. I know our rating system caused issues with one of the Fallout games. The use of, was it morphine in it? I don't know. There was a drug use in one of the games that had to be changed. I don't know if they ended up changing that, but everywhere they renamed the drug use or something like that. Pretty sure it was Fallout. Now I'm questioning myself, but it was one of those sort of more popular games where drug use became an issue, and I think they ended up changing it for all regions, just renaming the drug use.
Yeah. That's interesting to know. Like, hopefully, as I said, since you got that new rating in, though, hopefully, the Australian law is a lot more lenient for that kind of game, for those games now, because I know a lot of people over Australia is just annoyed at the fact is they're not getting some of these games.
Yeah.
Like, is GTA 5 going to be released there now?
Yeah, that one will be fine. Yeah, it'll make it through. I'm trying to think what editing we had for 4. I can't really remember. I remember people complaining when it came out, but I can't remember if it actually was edited or people just assumed it was going to be, especially after what happened with San Andreas and everything. I think it was just had whoever checks it, the OFLC or whatever, on high alert when it came in for rating.
Okay. And that was it for the news stories. We kind of went into a few tangents there too, though, and this is actually coming up to be a 3-hour podcast, unfortunately. So sorry for keeping you for so long, Charlie. I didn't expect it to go for so long.
I think it's my fault. I keep blabbering on.
Yeah, you're actually part of the group then.
Yep.
The Rabblers. Final thing here before we wrap it up is launch dates announced or not. Guacamelee for the PS3 and PS Vita is coming out April 9th in North America and April 10th in Europe and Australia. It's this little like side-scrolling sort of beat-em-up game, I believe, from what I've seen of it. I heard of it before, but I didn't actually check it up until there recently. Battlefield 4 we already talked about. It's coming out in PS3, PC, 360, I believe Wii U, and PS4 probably as well. That's coming out in fall. Marvel Heroes, which I believe is a free-to-play game, comes out on June 4th. Papo and Yo, which is this game for the PS3, done by this guy.
You mean Papo y Yo?
Papo y Yo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Correct, Amando. It's coming out April 8th. I have to go back to that game because I heard the ending of that's quite powerful.
It's pretty soon. It's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, I've got it on the PS3. So... And like I heard, like it's done by this guy though, had kind of a very
special life,
special relationship with his father, pretty much, to say the very least. Star Wars: New Republic: Rise of the Hutt, April 14th. Coda Princess 3D eShop is March 28th, which is already out as of this recording, and the Ouya system is out in June the 4th. So a few games there. Not really anything there I'd really be interested in apart from maybe Guacamelee. Yeah. So I wouldn't. Maybe Coda Princess when it goes down in price, but that's pretty much it. So anyway, let's call it another episode, folks. Charlie, thank you very much for joining us and staying for us for the 3 hours this week.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
What time is it now over there? It's like after 8 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
isn't it?
8:15 in the morning.
Yeah. it's after 9 o'clock here, and it's after 5 o'clock in the States, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 5:15. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be next week. It'll be back to 5 hours now because our clocks go for tonight now.
Okay.
Our daylight savings begins tonight.
Okay.
So be back to the 5 though. So back to normal time then. But thank you very much for joining us. And before we go, leave us reviews on iTunes. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And you also can follow all us on Twitter. I am DowerM85.
I'm D-Boy Den.
I'm
Charly?
I'm Charassic, which is Charassic. Bit weird.
And you also follow Derek Gigastorm C. And also you can follow us at Uniting Gamedom. Uniting Gamedom Podcast Twitter. And probably no problem following us anymore on there because we pretty much it's pretty much dead in the water now because we don't do anything about it except I just post the episodes there on the United Gamedom Podcast group. And you also subscribe to Charly on her Facebook. She's on Facebook as well, and also her YouTube channel, which I'll post the links of on the YouTube page to check it out. So anyway, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Charly, for joining myself and talking for 3 hours straight this week.
Thank you.
We'll be back to maybe hopefully normal next week, which will be 2.5 hours, maybe not a 3 hour rambler. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and until then, take care. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Do I stop the recording?